smile.
Certified country classics to brand new favorites. We are country, real country.
Live from Central-Lunenburg High School, it's time for high school football. The Altavista Colonels are back on 105.5 KD Country, our 55th consecutive season of broadcasting high school sports. I am Kyle Hoehne, and oh, what a treat, folks, all year long. We're at least week one anyway. You may get fired after tonight. Mr. Dennis Jarvis is going to be my tag team partner tonight. Dennis, we're all very excited to have you. It's the start of another great season. I know you're very excited to be here.
Oh, I am. Listening to your broadcast team, a four-time award winner the last 3 years, and growing up listening to the likes of Jack Fleming and Woody O'Hara at the Mountaineer Sports Network, and just living vicariously on football games through always listening to my radio, it's a dream come true. My brother's calling a game on the west side of the state tonight with the Grand G men and Bluefield High School Beavers, and I have two Jarvis boys on the radio talking about the greatest sport ever invented is a rare opportunity.
I'm not even sure that's legal to have two Jarvis boys on the radio, but they're not on the same station, so I think we're covered. We're glad that you're tuned into our station. It's 105.5 KD Country. We are in Lunenburg County. The town is Victoria. We're playing really what's a familiar opponent for a lot of Altavista fans, Dennis, the Central-Lunenburg Chargers. Colonels beat them twice last year. I got a chance to ask Coach Jarvis about how that factors into things. It's week one, so that excitement is there. But you got to think maybe the Chargers, they had their season end at the hand of Altavista last year in the playoffs. They lost to them twice. You got to believe these Chargers are going to be fired up for game one in front of the home crowd and hoping to avenge a couple losses from last season.
True that. And you have to understand you got a home field advantage. I walked down on the turf earlier. It's beautiful Bermuda grass. They're ready to go. They've got throwback uniforms tonight that look like the late 50s, early 60s Bayou Bengals and LSU. And there seems to be a real brisk, vigorous crowd that's going to be out here. You can hear the band in the background. Like you said, that could be to our advantage, the fact that we had them twice last year, or you could have revenge factor. And it seems that they're a pretty senior-laden team. So the leaders on this team really want to know, hey, look, guys, we owe them.
We'll discuss last year a bit more as we continue those rosters, talk more about those uniforms that Dennis mentioned, and he is right. The crowd is building. We're still about 25 minutes away from kickoff. Let's catch up with the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, get his thoughts on the new season, how the preseason camp went, and his thoughts on the Chargers and this ball game tonight. It's high school football. It's back. I know it's late August, but it's football time, folks, and we're so glad that you are joining us. Let's hear from the head coach right after this timeout. It's the Altavista Colonels in town to take on the Central-Lunenburg Chargers. You're going to hear every second of the action live on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
A short drive will save you money.
This is Greg Walker with Feller Chevrolet. Our new 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty has many customers buying from us instead of the competition. Covers any vehicle purchased up to 10 years old with less than 150,000 miles, new or used. With our 3-day money-back guarantee, you can buy with confidence. Where else can you get great prices, good selection, 3-day money-back guarantee, and a warranty that gives you 10 years of protection? Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
At English's Hardware Supply, look for the National Hardware Center. There you'll find a wide array of hardware items for your home, like storm and screen door latches and closers. National also has replacement strike plates for your storm and screen doors. For backyard security, the National Hardware Center has gate hasps, latch, and padlocks. And there's much more from National and Stanley.
English's is your complete home center.
Look for National at English's Building Supply in Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Pre-game show returns from Central-Lunenburg. The Altavista Colonels are in town for game 1 of the 2017 season. That means we're chatting once again with head coach Mike Sharness. And Coach Sharness, another year. We've been doing this for quite a while now. It seems like every year you come into it almost like a kid on Christmas. I think you've mentioned before you're excited. Always nice to get back out for this first game of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, you always have a bunch of jitters with the first game, just a lot of unknown factors. One of them is our special teams. You don't go in your scrimmages live at all, and that's an unknown. And then with our football team, we have a number of seniors that have played football on this varsity level, know what they're getting ready to get into with Central-Lunenburg, and we've got a number of kids that are playing for us that have never seen it before. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of unknowns.
Well, let's get back to Central-Lunenburg in a second. Tell us how your summer workout stuff went, and then how the preseason camp went and your 2 scrimmages.
Yeah, I think our preseason practice has been pretty good. We've gone slow with the kids because we've had a lot of inexperience. We had a lot of inexperienced kids at different positions, and we kind of went slow, and it worked pretty good with the style of offense that we've put in. You can go slow with that kind of offense, and you need to go slow. And our scrimmages have been pretty much what you want out of a scrimmage. We got enough things on film to see. A lot of things weren't good. A lot of things were pretty good. So, it's just trying to fix some of the things that we look the worst in and trying to get a little better with it. Depth is a big question mark for us, and we're trying to build a lot of depth with players playing some different positions, learning different positions. So I think it's been a pretty positive camp, though, overall.
Well, tell us about those offensive changes. We know it's still going to be out of the shotgun, but it's not a quote-unquote spread offense anymore. Tell folks maybe a little bit what they can expect, and then mention 1 or 2 names, some of those offensive weapons that you have returning to carry the ball for you.
Well, we got a triple option is what is the biggest thing, where our quarterback be a lot more option football. Our personnel dictates that we probably run the football more than throw it with the number of receivers we have in our program, and we felt that this style of offense, similar to what you see on TV with the Army and the Navy teams, the Air Force, Georgia Tech, where they run their triple option. They do it under center, and we're doing it from the gun, and it's just a style of offense that I think is going to favor us this year. Christian Gilbert's going to be running the quarterback position. We've got Daniel Trippett as a senior lineman. Shaheem Pennell and Jonathan Montague are seniors. I'm listing a number of seniors here. Up front, not up front, but running the football for us. Jake Adams is playing the slot position for us, and that's changed. We're also changing defense, too. We're running a 4-3 this year, which is not as big a change as what we were doing with the offense. But, from what we've seen on the scrimmages, the offense, the kids are starting to get a hang of it, and it is going to take a little while before they get the full understanding of it. So we're just trying to put our head down and go to work with that.
Yeah, obviously the full playbook's not going to be in there week 1, even if you didn't change offenses. You mentioned the defensive changes, and you mentioned some guys that we can look forward to seeing. Tell us a little bit more about some of the individuals on your football team, some of those other seniors maybe, and anybody else for that matter that you think might make an impact here and down the road.
Well, defensively, we're in a position. I think our linebacker position is got the least depth to it there, and it's a very important position. Aaron Close is an underclassman, a junior. He's playing at one linebacker position. Christian Gilbert is at the safety position. and up front, we've got a number of guys. And to be honest with you, we're not really sure who's going to participate in the game tonight. We've got a number of guys up front on the defensive line that we're going to be getting in the football game. We don't have any true designated starters as of yet. And we got a ton of guys that have a lot of inexperience that we're counting on helping us tonight.
Well, let's talk about the opponent a little bit tonight, the Central-Lunenburg Chargers. Any Colonel fans should be familiar with that name. You guys have been butting heads with them once or twice a year for the past 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, it seems like. Sometimes they come at you with the tight formation, the old-school wing T kind of football, and then other years it's a spread, and then sometimes it's a combination of both. What are we looking forward to tonight from the Chargers?
Yeah, I think we're going to see what's called the double wing offense, and that's the smash mouth. The linemen go toe-to-toe with their splits as far as where they line up, and they just run 3 or 4 plays from that offensive set and just try to control the clock. And that's been their basis over the years, and they have gone to some different things, but that's been their mainstay on offense. And Coach Will Thomas does a good job. And, yeah, we have faced him over the last 5 years a few times, so we kind of feel like we kind of know each other. But they've got a very storied football program, very good tradition, won some state championships back in the day. But they're going to be a tough one to handle.
Well, I always try and pick your brain about the coaching psychology and that stuff. You beat them twice last year. Do you mention that this week to the guys in practice? Because you got to feel like Lunenburg's talking about it some. Yeah,
they might be saying we ended their season and all that. We haven't mentioned it at all. Just we've shown some film from last year to get used to the offensive set, but we really haven't touched much on it. No.
Well, Coach, we'll let you run. We're looking forward to another wonderful year. Excited to see everything. And we'll take a quick time out and bring it back right after this. It's Altavista. It's Central-Lunenburg getting ready to kick off the 2017 season on 105.5 KD Country.
Napa know-how. The Napa Legend battery does legendary things, like starting your car when the heat index hits $1.25. And now when you buy a Napa Legend battery, you'll get a prepaid Visa card by mail worth $15. $15 back and a new battery? That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 8/31/17.
Napa Auto Parts, Main Street, Altavista, across from Feller Chevrolet.
Thinking of starting a business or expanding your company? Think about choosing Altavista as your location to invest and grow. Altavista offers low utility cost, broadband internet, US 29 access, and an attractive quality of life. You'll score big just like the Colonels when you invest in Altavista. Huddle up with the Altavista Office of Economic Development at Altavista Town Hall.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season. Go Colonels.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Pre-game show returns on 105.5 KD Country. We're getting geared up for the 2017 campaign. Tonight we're getting ready for the Altavista Colonels taking on the Central-Lunenburg Chargers. I'm Kyle. He is Dennis. Dennis, we talked about it a bit already. Let's talk about last year. Week 1 of the season last year was a 33-19 Colonel victory at home. In playoff week 2, it was a Altavista win 42-10. National anthem coming on now, Dennis. So let's put these thoughts on hold. We'll catch our breath, sir, and we'll find something interesting to say. We'll step aside for 90 seconds here for the national anthem. Altavista and Lunenburg getting set on 105.5 KD Country.
Your home is your biggest investment. It must be handled properly. Let the professionals at DL Bryant Heating and Cooling handle your home issues. Donnie and his trained professional staff are ready at 434-841-1580. They can make sure your home or business HVAC system is ready for the rest of the summer and ready for the upcoming fall and winter. Call DL Bryant Heating and Cooling at 434-841-1580. That's 841-1580. DL Bryant is ready to protect your investment.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Service you can trust and prices that work for your family. During the moments in life that matter, you'll be able to feel the difference made by family ownership. Finch and Finch, families serving families since 1905.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthem by the Lunenburg Charger Marching Band. Dennis, you and I commented on the strength of their numbers over there. The marching band sounding good here tonight, getting everybody geared up and in the mood. We mentioned the strength of the numbers on the fans side. We've got some Altavista fans rolling in. The cheerleaders are arriving, and it's certainly feeling more and more like football the closer we get to kickoff here.
It is. You know, I've been counting down the days. I know these young men, since they've been in camp, they've been counting down the days. And as you were talking earlier, what a way to start a season with the person you knocked out of the playoffs last year. So, you know, this is this going to be a replay of what we had last time? Is it going to be a new chapter for both programs? I think it is, since it's the first week.
Yeah, and that's a great segue back into what we were talking about before the anthem. Last season, Altavista beat Central-Lunenburg twice, 33-19 in week one. That was a game where Shaheem Pinnell scored 3 times in the second half for the Colonels, and that was pretty much the difference. In the playoff game, the Colonels started strong and had to deal with some fumbling issues, but they seemed to hang on to the ball each time, and each time it ended up resulting in more and more points for the Colonels. They end up winning that playoff game pretty handedly, 42-10. Now, you have a team end your season, as you alluded to, Oscar. You got to think the Chargers have been probably using that as a motivational tool, perhaps all summer long.
Well, you know, you always have a locker room. You always have headlines, or what the other coach puts on the locker room wall as motivation. It sounds like to me we've got a pretty good history with Central-Lunenburg. We've got they know it's kind of a untraditional rival, not like Gretna, not like Brookneal, not like Rutsburg or whomever else. But, you know, we've got a history, and nothing's more electric than English Field in the playoffs with the fireworks and our fans behind it. But like you said, we've got 10 or 15, 20 fans over there, plus our cheerleaders. It should be a kind of an even playing field tonight.
Oh, I think so. And if you talk about last season, you know that Coach Sharness doesn't really like to discuss last season, although you would think 2 wins over Ball Club might give you some confidence coming in to tonight. But as you alluded to, Dennis, new start, new season, new teams, different personnel, et cetera, probably can't read too much into what happened last year.
You know, they can't even rely on their game film. As you just listened to your pregame interview of Coach Sharness, running a new offense tonight,
right?
New personnel. How do you prepare for an unknown variable in a triple option? How do they prepare for this week? And that's what they've been leading up to. That Lunenburg's been practicing. Got one thing on your mind. First game, first opponent, just like Coach Sharness is, take it one day at a time.
He's been very successful with that. Part of the reason why the Colonels have been so successful. Dennis mentioned that new offense and defense for Altavista. You heard Coach Sharness mention it some too. We'll step aside for another timeout and then come back and talk about that and some other things happening here. It's the Altavista Colonels getting set to knock heads with the Central-Lunenburg Chargers. It's week 1, VHSL high school football. We're glad to be back. We're glad you're along for the ride, too, on a Friday evening. It's Colonels football on 105.5 KD Country.
Whatever your truck, car, SUV needs are, Highview Motors GMC has it all, from small to tall. New to pre-owned, offering more than just GMC sales. Highview Motors GMC provides 24-hour towing, full-service body shop, state inspection, transmissions, everything in between. Highview Motors GMC, providing top-quality service since 1961.
Here's some valuable information when buying your dream home. I'm Tracy Gallahan with First National Bank, and we offer more mortgage options. We have a wider variety of loans to help you purchase a new home or lower your existing monthly payment. So, for a more custom mortgage loan of any size, contact local First National Bank. We'll show you an extraordinary customer experience and help you bring home more bacon. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
We return to Lunenburg County. The Altavista Colonels in town taking on the Central-Lunenburg Chargers in Week 1. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, you got a bunch of listening options, 105.5 KDCountry.com. The website is having a little bit of malfunction, but you can still listen to the streaming. We got the link on our KD Country Facebook page, and you can always listen to the KD Country app, TuneIn app, Next Radio app. All those are options as well, Dennis. Let's talk about that triple option offense. You heard Coach Jarvis mention it. You mentioned it a little bit. It's an offense that you're starting to see more again on Saturdays in the college game, and then even the NFL guys running some option stuff again now. It's tough to defend. You've certainly got a multiple of ways that you can attack that defense, and there are some drawbacks to it as well, some of that ball handling stuff, the ball security, those things. It's going to be interesting to see the change for the Colonels. Still all operating out of the shotgun, though, we should say.
It all starts up front with triple option. You've got your skill players out on the slots, and we've got an excellent coaching staff here, and they would not have put in a new offensive set. It doesn't suit the personnel that they have. So they know better than we do that it should work. And as you said, you watch Georgia Tech. That's what they've been running. Their bread and butter. Navy, the Naval Academy runs that. And you do see some Wildcat in the NFL now where they're running out of that, especially with the personnel. It's a personnel-driven offense. And we seem to have the boys to get it done.
Yeah, it's interesting because it kind of takes the power away from the coach a little bit and puts it back in the hands of the quarterback of, do I want to keep the football? Do I want to give the football to the fullback? Do I want to pitch it? All those options are there for you. So you do have to have some confidence in your personnel, and I think the coaching staff at Altavista, full confidence.
Full confidence. And, we're getting both teams lining up to come out on the field. The captains are coming out. We're going to call the game toss here.
Yeah, captain's coming out here for the Colonels. Number 50, Daniel Triplett. Number 10, Christian Gilbert. And number 4, Aaron Close. You'll hear all three of those names. Daniel Triplett, a little banged up last week, but he looks to be okay and in good shape tonight. There was some question about whether Jake Adams would be able to play, but he looks to be good to go as well. And the offensive structure is a little bit different, Dennis, and the defense has changed a little bit too, going with a 4-3 scheme this year. It had been a 3-3 or a 3-5 kind of a look in past. Not to get too technical, some of our fans don't love the technical side of things. I think the defensive change not going to be a big adjustment to the Colonels. That should be pretty seamless.
Just as you said, you got a stacked offset 3-5. You go back to, and it's not much different. To the untrained eye, it doesn't. I don't think they'd see a discernible difference in the way the guys are lining up. It's all about skills. It's all about wrapping up. It's all about keeping your head above keeping your head in the game, and tackling the right way they show you to play.
Yeah, Colonels have been very good at tackling in recent years. We'll see if that trend continues this season. Don't see why it wouldn't. one final quick timeout. Then we're back with the kickoff, and the action will be underway. You've got yourself a ringside seat. It's Central-Lunenburg taking on Altavista, game number 1 on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
Radio Shack and Crystal Bay Pools, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more.
El Cerrito. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
McDonald's of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels. Stop by or drive through before or after the game.
The Dairy Freeze with hot dogs, burgers, fries, and of course ice cream. They're doing it right at the Freeze on Main Street, Altavista.
Old Dominion Insurance. See Kim and Gil, your Erie insurance agents on Main Street, Gretna, next to Tyler Flower Shop.
Thanks for sponsoring tonight's broadcast on 105.5 KD Country.
El Cazador Mexican Restaurant hopes you're enjoying the summer. Fun times are waiting for you at El Cazador. Cool off in air-conditioned comfort with daily drink and food specials. Mexican and American foods and a children's menu, too. Call for takeout or go online to elcazadorva.com. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a proud supporter of community activities, including the Y and high school sports. Altavista's oldest Mexican restaurant, El Cazador, looks forward to serving you. Open 7 days a week.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
We're almost set for kickoff between the Altavista Colonels and the Central-Lunenburg Chargers. I'm Kyle. He's Dennis. Our game is made possible by Feller Chevrolet, now offering a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. First National Bank, helping you bring home more bacon. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. Napa Auto Parts of Altavista. Find your Napa know-how on Main Street. El Cazador, Altavista's original Mexican restaurant. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Very comfortable outside tonight. Dennis and I will talk more about the weather conditions here. PCM Industrial Services, now with mobile welding and repair service. Altavista Office of Economic Development, we invite you to come find one of a kind. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling, call Donnie at 841-1580. And the Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road in Altavista. Colonels will kick off to start the ball game. They are clad in the road whites, white pants, white jersey, black and orange trim, black helmet. Chargers are in that LSU look that Dennis mentioned, purple top, white pants, white helmet. Looks like Shaheen Pinnell will do the kicking honors for the Altavista Colonels. Back deep for the Chargers appears to be number 1, Deontay Crowder. We'll see if Pinnell kicks it all the way back there or not. We're almost set for the start of the 2017 football season. Here's the boot, and it is a fairly deep one. It'll bounce on about the 15-yard line, picked up on one hop by Crowder. Crowder sifts his way through the middle of the kickoff coverage and does get a decent return back to about the 34-yard line. That's where the Chargers will start their first drive of the 2017 season. It looked like Jacob Adams is the first man on the stop.
Yeah, I was going to say, rare to see the kicker down, and he got the hit. That's very nice. Good fundamentals.
Chargers will huddle up. Their offense is rather unique, Dennis. They go with those tight foot-to-foot splits up front on the offensive line. They'll toss the ball to a back-end motion, and sometimes the quarterback will be the guy that leads them through the hole. Not often you see the quarterback as a lead blocker, but it'll happen some tonight. It's Jackson Dalton under center. He does pitch it to Crowder and then goes out there and blocks for him. There's a stop in the backfield by Jonathan Montague. He gets up and pumps the fist. That's a 2-yard tackle for a loss. Johnny Montague, Johnny on the spot on first down for the Colonels.
Good call, Johnny on the spot. Made it right through that line. Let everybody know he's here and he's in charge tonight.
Montague is a well-put-together senior. He's listed at 5'10", 195. I'd say most of that 195 muscle and a lot of grit thrown in there, too.
Yes, sir.
2nd and 11 for the Chargers from the far hash mark. That's the left side for Dennis tonight. Put it back in motion again. They toss it to Tyzon Wilkerson. Wilkerson with not a lot of room up front. stuffed by the interior of the Colonels line.
Looked like number 50 got in on the hit first, Kyle.
Yeah, it was 50 Daniel Triplett, also 52 Dakota Ashby in there, and maybe even Tyler Gord as well. It was sort of a team stop on the defensive line. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. Big third down situation here for the Colonels defense. So far, so good. We'll see what the Chargers dial up on offense. No score. 10:45 left to play in the English's Your Complete Home Center. First quarter. It's the opening drive for the Chargers. Like a shotgun formation for a minute, but Dalton was just helping a teammate buckle a chin strap. Now he's under center, barking out the signals. They'll fake it to the motion man. They pitch it instead to Crowder, and he has nowhere to go.
Dakota Ashby on the stop.
Right Ward and Ashby, yep.
Can you believe that? 3 and out on the first possession. Way to go, Colonel.
3 and out, and they caused Lunenburg to lose about 5 yards on the set. This brings up 4th and 15. Central dropping back in a punt formation. And one of the bigger punters you'll see, Dennis, number 75, Ethan Hoover. He stands 6'8", 272. He's back deep to punt.
He looks like about 7 feet tall from up here atop.
No kidding. With the helmet on, he might be. He plays center on the offensive line. Snap is perfect. Kick is good. It'll bounce one time on the 44-yard line and take a slight Charger roll back to the 41. Jacob Adams was in the area, but never really made an effort to get under it. Probably a wise decision. Didn't have much blocking.
No. And, I mean, like I said, our first time out, defense holds them 3 and out. We did back them up further. And, that the tallest punter probably in the state of Virginia, had a decent punt with a good roll, but we've got good field advantage to take first possession.
Field position is at the 41-yard line. Colonels will scrimmage there from the far right hash mark. They'll take over with 9:44 remaining in the English's Your Complete Home Center. First quarter. Christian Gilbert will be the quarterback for the Colonels, although you could see another guy or two sprinkled in there, which is not that uncommon really on any high school team. He hands to Shaheem Pennell. No hole there for Pennell to go through. He's driven backwards. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but I think they're going to signal him with a 1 or 2 yard loss.
You're right. Looks like about a 2-yard loss on that. 2nd and 12.
9:24. Still 0-0 is our score here from Lunenburg. We'll keep an eye on a bunch of other games tonight. There's some good ones. The Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show, I'm sure, will feature some score updates. One receiver to each side, a wingback to each side for the Colonels from the far hash mark. Gilbert gets the chest-high snap, fakes it to Pennell, sprints through the hole on the left side, and does pick up a 4-yard chunk of turf, and he's brought down around the 42-yard line.
Looks like they're giving us 3rd and 9. Looks like they gave us about 3 yards on that carry.
Offensive line kind of sets up in a makeshift huddle. Now they spread out. It's a no-huddle offense still. Everything gets signaled in from the sideline by head coach Mike Sharnes. First 3rd down for the Colonels offense. 3rd and 9. They put Jonte Gordon in motion. They fake the handoff to Pennell. Gilbert wants to throw, and he's got Adams wide open. Jake Adams catches on the 35-yard line, sprinting down the far sideline. He will not get touched. It's a touchdown for the Altavista Colonels on their opening drive. Call it a 58-yard touchdown for the Altavista Colonels. Christian Gilbert hooking up with Jake Adams.
Way to dial it up. 3rd and 9, everybody's expecting. Looked like they thought it was going to be a run. Caught him looking, and he walked into the end zone.
Yeah, there was a defender about maybe 5 yards within his grasp when Jacob caught the football, but once he kicked it into 5th gear, there was really nobody to be found, and he cruised the last 10 or 15 yards into the end zone.
Sure did. What a nice first possession, Kyle.
Shaheem Pennell will try the extra point for the Colonels. Snap is a little bit high, but it gets to the block. Kick was not very good. It actually ended up hitting one of the refs in the end zone. Still a 6-0 lead for the Altavista Colonels. They score on their opening possession. 8:24 left to play in the first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds on 105.5 KD Country.
To become a Moose is an awesome feeling. You just can't belong to a better organization.
I was born and raised in a Moose, and I'll be a Moose the rest of my life. My son is a Moose. We're 3-generation Moose loggers. That's how it is with us. I hope everybody else that can join and become a member, you need to do it. You need to see what it does for us.
Why I belong to the Moose. For friendship, for the children, and most of all for the seniors.
What are you waiting for? Stop by the Moose Family Center in Altavista to learn more about how you can be a Moose.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, you can't dream it up much better if you're a Colonel fan, Dennis. They get the stop, the 3-and-out stop on defense on the Lunenburg Chargers opening drive. Then they come out, and not only do they pick up a third down, they score on third down. Christian Gilbert with the bomb to Jacob Adams.
And as you said, fifth gear, it was overdrive, no restrictor plate racing on that young man. It was nothing but him in the subway downtown here, I think.
Dennis, not only are you going to be our resident college football expert, you're going to be our NASCAR expert, too?
Maybe.
All motorsports?
All motorsports.
Great stuff. But now we'll do the kicking honors again. He's meticulously taking his time about putting it on that kicking tee. But, hey, that's a kicker's discretion, right?
Yes, sir.
6-0 the lead for the Altavista Colonels. The extra point was no good, but it's still a one-possession advantage for Altavista with 8:24 left to play in the English's first quarter. Looks like Deontay Crowder back deep to return again. Ball got to him on one hop on the first kickoff. But now with the run-up, this one's higher and shorter. It'll get fielded on the 20 by L.J. Watson. Watson hit hard, stuck at the 25. The solo tackle by Jonte Gord. And that one was really a textbook form fit right there, Dennis. He hit him up high, really in the chest and the shoulder pads, and just would not let go and dragged him to the turf.
You know, so far he's got three phases of the game. He's always got to play. It's special teams thus far. It's getting down on kickoff coverage and stopping any momentum that the Chargers are going to have.
This drive will start on Lunenburg's own 20. They spot him at the 26-yard line, right hash mark. That's the near side hash mark for Dennis and I. We're up top on top of the press box here at Lunenburg. It's a great view and a great evening. I mean, it's about 75 out here, Dennis. The humidity seems to have gone away a little bit. It's pretty nice. They give it to the fullback. He's going off the right side, lowers his shoulder through one tackle. Ball came out, but he was on the turf. That's number 28, Darian Jones. Gord slowed him down, and it looked like Dakota Ashby helped clean him up.
Little power football. You go back to your old Tecmo Bowl days. That's a right slide, a sweep to the right side there.
He's our video game expert, too. I love it. Pretty good chunk of yards gained on first down, though. The biggest gain of the evening so far for Lunenburg. Of course, it's only the fourth play they've run from scrimmage. Brings up 2 and a long one from the right hash mark. Clock turning with 7:42 left to play in the first. It's a 6-0 Altavista lead. They go up the gut again to the fullback. That was Jones again, lowered the shoulder, ran through one would-be tackler, and then dragged another with him. Number 8, Kendrick Coles getting off the pile for the Colonels, along with Dakota Ashby again. First down for the Lunenburg Chargers. That's their first of the ball game.
Kyle, it looks like we've got some personnel changes coming in from our sideline.
Yeah, you heard Coach Sharness mention they're going to shuffle a lot of guys in, particularly on the defensive line. They don't have any quote-unquote starters just yet. Under center for the Chargers. Toss play going just off the right tackle. That's Tyzon Wilkerson. He's trying to struggle his way through some would-be Colonel tacklers. Christian Gilbert, first guy there. Dennis and I are just reading each other's minds. And it was a nice stop by Gilbert, and then 3 or 4 other Colonels came in support to help bring the ball carrier down.
Solid power defense, following the run, following the ball. As you said earlier, who's going to get the ball? You got to watch. It's a very intricate offense.
It is, and those tight splits up front with the linemen, it's hard to see in the backfield. It's kind of one of those read your keys type of programs on defense. Toss play going to Crowder. He shoves his lead blocker out of the way, dives forward, falls across the 45-yard line. Good pursuit and gang tackling again from the Colonels. They had at least 3 or 4 white jerseys around the football. It'll bring up third and short. Call it third and a long one. Clock moving, 6:25 left to play in the first. 6-0, the Altavista advantage at the moment, but the Chargers are on the move on their second possession of the ball game.
Yeah, and like you said, he was trying to direct traffic with his blocker ahead of him.
2 wing backs just off the 2 tight ends, 1 fullback set behind. They tossed it to number 8. That is Tyzon Wilkerson again. He did get enough for the first down. At least from our vantage point, he got enough. He got it to the 49-yard line. They really only needed the 48. They do move the chains. Jonathan Montague will get credit for the tackle for the Colonels. Got him around the waist, but couldn't stop him in his tracks, and Wilkerson struggled across that first down marker.
Well, you got 2 first downs on this possession thus far, and a real nice move from that from their sophomore running back, picking up positive yardage.
We talked about Altavista's got a chunk of sophomores. Lunenburg has quite a few sophomores on their roster as well. 8 of them to go along with 7 juniors. Toss play to number 1. That's Deontay Crowder. He's finding the space inside Crowder. The play was designed to go off the left tackle, but the Colonel sort of stuffed that up. He did forge ahead for 2 or 3 yards.
Looks like we just got Kendrick Coles coming into the game, replacing Tyler Gord for our Colonels.
Yeah, it looks like Coles up front. He's joining Caleb Melton.
Jaden Martin just came off, too.
Dakota Ashby's on the defensive line as well, along with Aaron Close over there, it looks like, at that far side defensive end spot. Chargers are in the middle of the field. They're in Altavista territory for the first time today on the 49-yard line. Put a man in motion. They hand it to the fullback. He's going right side. Nothing there. That is number 50 on the stop, Daniel Triplett. Nice job holding on and really throwing the ball carrier backwards. They may give him the line of scrimmage, but there was no gain.
Yeah, it looks like Christian Gilbert got in to assist on the tackle, too. So, real nice stop. Looks like we're going to get the ball back across the Charger territory instead of being on the positive side of the field for us.
4:43 left to play in the first quarter. Another big third down for Lunenburg. They picked up 2 on this drive so far. Same formation, 2 wingbacks, 2 tight ends, and a fullback. Looked like they almost had 2 guys in motion. They toss it to Wilkerson. He's trying to get across the far sideline, the near sideline. He steps out of bounds. We're very close to that first down marker, Dennis. This may require a measurement. They've got it spotted on the 41-yard line, and they signal for a first down. No measurement needed. Another third down pickup for Lunenburg.
That was awful close. He was a step shy one way or the other. It could have been either way, but official right on the ball, made a good spot.
Altavista taking some time to catch their breath. It'll be a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Officials blow a whistle for a moment. Now I think they're ready to go. Yep, 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line of Altavista for Lunenburg. They're driving here. Double handoff. They went to the right and handed it back off inside to the left. That was Deontay Crowder who ended up being the ball carrier. Sort of a trick play. It didn't work out for the big yards that you typically think of from a gadget play, but it was a gain of 3.
Well, we got number 21 coming back in for the Colonels. Tyler Gord's back in the game. You're right. That was good watching the ball. Good eye movement for us. And only about 3 yards on the carry.
3:55 left to play in the English's Your Complete Home Center first quarter. It's a 6-0 Altavista lead. They're on defense and a bit on their heels on this Lunenburg drive. It's a toss to Wilkerson. Nothing there. The Colonel stuffed up the would-be hold-in. Aaron Close came and got him from the backside on the pursuit with a big hit and a loss of yards. Looks like a loss of just 1.
Looks like he got a little too close for the Chargers behind that play there. So, way to go, Aaron.
3rd and 7. Jackson Dalton hustles to the sideline to get the play for the Chargers offense. They huddle up about 6 yards behind the football. Now break it. They're ready to go with 3:15 left to play in the first. Another big third down situation for Lunenburg. Let's see what the Colonel's defense can do here. 2 tight ends, 2 wingbacks. They toss it to Crowder. Starts off left tackle, now squirts outside. Looking for the far sideline. Jake Adams runs him out of bounds right there at the 30-yard line. He's going to have enough for the first down, though. Adams was just a yard or a step too late, meeting Crowder and shoving him out of bounds. Chains move, and it's another first down for the Chargers.
But like you said, but very close. We played it well. Instead of going for big yards or a touchdown, we at least held them. Keep the clock.
Yeah, Colonels' defense is sort of doing what we've known them to do, a bend but don't break sort of defensive philosophy. They're not really blitzing a lot or trying to get a ton of penetration in the backfield. They have gotten some. They've been quite successful limiting big gains for Lunenburg. 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter now. Still the 6-0 Altavista lead. Chargers putting together a very long second drive. Dalton fakes the run, wants to pass, flushed out of the pocket by Ashby, now hit by Aaron Close. And he and Ashby bring him down. That's a loss of at least 5 there on the busted passing play.
Once again, Aaron's too close for the Chargers to get any positive yardage. That was a nice, well-played, finesse, skills tackle by both the guys.
And the coverage by the Altavista secondary was good as well. Dalton had nowhere to go, and he was just forced to tuck that ball down and take the loss of, they actually mark it as a loss of 6. 2.5 minutes left to play in the first period now. 6-0 Altavista brings up 2nd and 16. Far hash mark, 36-yard line. Put Wilkerson in motion. They hand it off to Crowder on the double handoff. He dodges one man, sidesteps another, falls across the 30-yard line for about a 6-yard gain.
Back to the original line of scrimmage so far. So we'll be 3rd and 10.
Chargers have been perfect on 3rd down this drive, Dennis. They've picked up 3 of them so far on a drive that started back on their own 25-yard line. They've ate up quite a bit of clock, too. This is their 2nd possession of the ball game. Move it back to the 30-yard line exactly. They need to get to the 20, so it's a perfect 3rd and 10 here. Colonel's defense does show a bit of a blitz. Dalton fakes the run again. It's a rollout to the right. Left-hander wants to throw across his body. It's caught at the 12-yard line. Big 3rd down pickup. They kept him out of the end zone. A catch by Ben Spencer at the 12-yard line is more than enough for a Charger first down. It'll set up 1st and goal.
Very, very reminiscent of the pass play we scored on. Long 3rd and 10, and go for the pass.
Yeah, great observation by you. You kind of sucking that defense in. The defense feels like they have the advantage. You sneak the tight end out, and a great catch there by Spencer. Well-delivered ball by Dalton. Jackson Dalton's under center again. He tosses it to Wilkerson. Wilkerson just diving ahead in the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Chargers. We are tied at 6. Extra point on the way as the clock stops with 1:25 left to play in the first quarter.
Kyle, you get down there in that goal-to-goal situation, and they've got, they've got 2 guys over 250 on that front line. It was just a little beef on that right side.
Chargers have some size and some weight advantage on the offensive line. We didn't get to discuss that a ton in the pregame, but it will surely be a talking point as we move on, especially if the Chargers continue to run the ball with the effectiveness that they have. Earl Ginn in there to kick now. Right-footed kicker gets a high boot. Looked like he pulled it left, but the officials say he stuck it inside that left upright. Chargers have a lead, 7-6. 1:25 left to play in the first quarter. Colonels get the football back when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
This is Greg Walker with Feller Chevrolet. Our new 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty has many customers buying from us instead of the competition. Covers any vehicle purchased up to 10 years old with less than 150,000 miles, new or used. With our 3-day money-back guarantee, you can buy with confidence. Where else can you get great prices, good selection, 3-day money-back guarantee, and a warranty that gives you 10 years of protection? Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
A very good drive by the Central-Lunenburg Chargers gets them the lead. 7-6. They're on top after a 75-yard scoring play, Dennis. They had the one big passing play that set up the 1st and goal, but other than that, it was ground and pound. They kept the ball on the ground in the hands of their backs. They controlled that clock, as you mentioned. Really ate up the yardage, ate up the time, and now they have a 1-point lead to show for it.
Yeah, but if you watch your defense, listen to it back home, there was a couple of times you held them. It was 3rd and 16. Get back to the original line of scrimmage, but our guys keep playing determined and understand where they're going. This will be one of those attrition wars.
I agree. I think Altavista's defense can make some subtle adjustments, too, to take away some of those running lanes and opportunities. And certainly the Colonels were very good on 1st and 2nd down. Chargers were 4 for 4 on 3rd down that drive. You got to tip your cap to Lunenburg for coming up with big plays when they needed it. Speaking of big, there's the big kicker for Lunenburg. Booted away by Ethan Hoover. Adams hurdles a man at the 25. He's got a head of steam across the 30. Falls forward to the 35-yard line. That's where the Colonels will start their second possession. 1:18 remaining in the English's first quarter.
Jacob Adams showing a little Randy Moss leaping over the Charger defender there. So that was pretty good. Gave us a nice field position. Once again, number 75 is the tallest kickoff kicker I have ever seen in my football watching days.
6'8", 272 pounds is the kicker, Ethan Hoover. He plays on the offensive and defensive lines as well, not just a specialist for the Chargers.
I think he looks 7 feet tall without his helmet on.
Colonels are set up on offense from the far hash mark, 34-yard line after the adjustment of the spot. White jerseys, white pants. They're on the road at Lunenburg tonight. Oh, nice move by Gilbert. What a sidestep around one linebacker. That's a first down and a 14-yard pickup by Christian Gilbert, just knifing his way through the heart of that defense, almost to the 50-yard line.
Very good. Had some finesse moves, knew exactly where to shift at the right time, come back to the right, picked him up some extra yardage with his momentum.
Colonels with a fresh set of downs, far hash mark. 60 seconds left to play in this English is your complete home center first quarter. They're looking for the play from the sideline. Now it looks like they're set to go. Chargers defense has a lot of guys crowded on the line of scrimmage. Really just 3 guys back in the secondary. Gilbert fakes it again. Option right. Ball squirts out. It's on the turf, and Lunenburg signaling that they have it.
Looks
I
like
tend
they
to
got
agree with them from first glance.
They got the ball.
Colonels maybe trying to wrestle it away on the bottom of the pile, but I think it's Lunenburg football. Still not quite. There's the official signal right there. It is a Charger football. It's a fumble. I don't know if you give it credit to Gilbert. It looked like he was trying to pitch it off to the right to Jacob Adams, but the defender was just too close.
Well, you run the alley when you run in the triple option, and there was those big guys from Chargers were right up there in his face. So we're here at midfield. Shake the dust off. We showed that we could hold them last time when we needed to. Like you said, we bend, don't break.
Same offensive formation for Lunenburg. 2 tight ends, 2 wingbacks, a fullback. Quarterback under center is Dalton. They hand it to the fullback on the dive, straight up the gut. That's number 28, Darian Jones. He's a hard runner. Doesn't have much of a hole to run through, but he does still gain 2 yards. They give Jonathan Montague credit for another tackle.
Well, I was going to say, Big Jonathan in there laying the hit like he knows how to.
Montague, again, a very well put together senior at 195 pounds. He moves well, too. As a running back last year for the Colonels, he averaged 7.7 yards per carry, Dennis, 13 touchdowns. You'll see him handle the rock again some tonight. 2nd and 8 for Lunenburg. Far hash mark, 45-yard line. Sort of a fullback trap type of play to Jones, but he doesn't have anything doing there. Shut down by the Colonels' defensive line. Dakota Ashby on this stop, and also number 64, DeAndre Jones in there. That'll be all for the first quarter. 12 minutes of football in the books for 2017. The Chargers have a 7-6 lead. Quick timeout here. More high school football when we return. 105.5 KD Country.
National Hardware is heavy-duty, durable, and practical. English's Building Supply has a broad selection of National Hardware products. Shelf brackets, hinges, angle brackets, screw eyes, hooks, turnbuckles, whatever your hardware needs, National is the name and English's is the place. For hardware at its best, shop English's Building Supply.
English's is your complete home center.
North Main Street in Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
First quarter under their belt for the Altavista Colonels. It was a good one. They do trail by 1, 7-6. The difference being the extra point converted by Lunenburg, not converted by Altavista. Dennis, real quickly here before the Chargers get going again on another 3rd down. What'd you like about that first quarter for Altavista?
I like the fact that we don't quit. Caught them looking, got the pass down. We're tackling. We're playing solid football. When he came in and off the field, we're not hands on hips.
Seem to have a lot of energy here tonight. Toss play. Crowder sifting through the outside of the defense. Jacob Adams made a turn back in. Jonathan Montague made the stop, and he is a yard or 2 short of the first down marker. Lunenburg will have a decision on 4th down, but it doesn't look to be much of a decision. They're going for it. 4th and 1 from the Altavista 38-yard line. Need to get to the 37.
We brought some beef up front. We got 62 Nathan Weeks in the game on the line.
He's set up just to the right of the center. Dalton under center, barking out the snap count. He's got his line set, went with a long snap count. Altavista did not jump. Good discipline there by the Colonels, and it's going to force Lunenburg to take a timeout. We'll take the timeout with them and see if they decide to go for it on 4th down after the break. 7-6, Lunenburg on top, 11:16 left to go in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Napa know-how. If you've been holding out till Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil was on sale for just $5.79 a quart, does that mean you've been patient or you've been procrastinating? Either way, your procrastination just paid off. Mobil 1 full synthetic for just $5.79 a quart. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 8/31/17.
Napa Auto Parts, Main Street, Altavista, across from Feller Chevrolet.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Chargers break the huddle and get set after the timeout. It's a 4th and 1. Dennis, you brought up the possibility maybe you try the quick kick, drop Dalton back and snap it to him a shotgun, let him boot it away. But right now it looks like Lunenburg's going for it on 4th down. Dalton's got his center set. Altavista with that beef on the defensive line again, ready to attack. Here's the snap. It's a toss play. They're going to the left with Crowder. Crowder has the first down. He's slung out of bounds by the waist by Jonathan Montague, but it's a 2-yard pickup and enough for the first down. He got it across the 35. That's where they'll spot it when they bring it back in play. Good job by the Chargers. They used the timeout, catch their breath, and then hit Altavista for just enough.
Kyle, that was a great block by number 28, Darian Jones from the Chargers out front. So credit him for the extra yardage picking up the first down.
These Lunenburg backs run hard, but they block hard too. Complete package here. There's a man in motion. They give it to the fullback. That's Jones, the man that Dennis just mentioned. Plows ahead forward. Not much of a hole there, but he drags a couple tacklers with him for a 3 or 4 yard gainer on first down.
Bringing 75, Caleb Melton's coming in the game.
6th first down of the game for the Chargers.
All ball control, Kyle.
Really has the one pass play to set up the previous touchdown, but very much a ball control offense, ground and pound. A lot of those toss plays, they normally put a man in motion on every play, one of those wing backs. And the man in motion is the left wing back. They toss it to him. That's number 12, Khalil Wood. Wood's got some room, and then the space was closed quickly by guess who? Jonathan Montague. I mean, he is everywhere tonight, it seems like, but can't get to him before Wood picks up another first down.
Well, he came running down like downhill with a full head of steam, but Jonathan wrapped him right up. Probably saved what could have been a longer potential touchdown.
Montague's going to shuffle off for a breather on that far sideline.
Well deserved.
Chargers are just right of center inside the 25-yard line. Call it the 24. Knocking on the door here with under 10 minutes to play in the half. Under center, 2 wingbacks, a fullback. Colonels do not show blitz. It's a toss to Crowder. Crowder cuts it up. He's got some room. He's across the 20, inside the 10, falls down at the 8-yard line, shoved there by Christian Gilbert and Jacob Adams. Too much of a hole there. That'll move the chains again, and it sets up 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the Lunenburg Chargers here on a drive that started on the Charger 49-yard line after that Altavista fumble, Dennis.
Well, when you're coaching, you know you don't want to make mistakes. But here, let's dig in, lock our heels in, stop.
Toss play. They're going to Crowder again. Same play. Went left, turned it up inside the numbers, hit hard at 5, thrown down around the 4 or the 3-yard line. Number 50 is Daniel Triplett. He made the hit. Keyshawn Moon also there to help bring him down. They spot this ball back on about the 3.5-yard line. 9:12 left to play in the half. It's a 7-6 Central-Lunenburg lead. They'll break the huddle, set to go again here on 2nd and goal. Colonel's defense has really got to dig in now, Dennis. Watch for the same play. They go it again. Crowder, left side. This time he doesn't have a hole. Shaheem Pinnell was there along with Jacob Adams. They weren't able to get him in the backfield. It looked like Crowder almost crawled forward for a yard or maybe 2.
They didn't get. They thought they might catch us looking, run the same play again that they did down at the other goal line for that touchdown run. So you're set, like they just said, 3rd and goal. Stand solid.
Ended up giving him maybe half a yard.
They're saying 3rd and 2, Kyle. You bet right. About a half yard you got.
8:28 left to play. The Englishes, your complete home center, 2nd quarter. Chargers looking to pad their lead. Colonel's looking to keep them out. Dalton, quarterback keeper. He's in. Got in on his own 2 feet with a great surge up front. That's a 2-yard touchdown for Jackson Dalton. And the Lunenburg Chargers now lead 13-6 with 8:18 left to play in the half.
The Chargers followed their big 75 number, Caleb Melton right up the middle. You got that kind of beef up front. It's hard to stop the momentum.
Extra point attempt again coming by Earl Ginn. He nailed the first one, just snuck it inside the left upright. Snap is good. It's to the block. This kick is not very good, and he did not sneak that one in. Our score will stay at 13-6. Chargers score again, though. See what kind of response the Altavista Colonels have in mind here with 8:18 left to play to go left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Thinking of starting a business or expanding your company? Think about choosing Altavista as your location to invest and grow. Altavista offers low utility cost, broadband internet, US 29 access, and an attractive quality of life. You'll score big just like the Colonels when you invest in Altavista. Huddle up with the Altavista Office of Economic Development at Altavista Town Hall.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Chargers score on their third possession of the ball game. It actually came off of an Altavista fumble near midfield. Lunenburg marches it down. A lot of running from Deontay Crowder, but it ended up being the quarterback, Jackson Dalton, who stuffed it in from 2 yards out. And now the Colonels down a full possession, 13-6. Dennis, we mentioned it during the break. The Colonel's body language still looks pretty good. Everybody seems pretty positive. Some pep in their step. I don't think the physical fitness is in question, at least not here in the first half anyway.
No, and as you said, came off the field, did make a mistake, but the body language is very positive. Heads up, eyes clear. Let's come back and get this, tie this one right up here, Kyle.
And knock on wood for both teams, really. It's been a penalty-free ball game. Not a lot of flags thrown.
Not one yet.
That's a good thing. Again, I hope I didn't just jinx it, but I don't believe in those announced or jinxes anyway. Here's the big kicker, Ethan Hoover. He boots this one with the toe. It'll get fielded on the move by Jacob Adams at the 20-yard line. He high steps across the 30, meets resistance at the 35, goes down around the 34-yard line. They may give him the progress up to the 35-yard line. Colonels will start their third possession of the ball game. They scored on the first one, fumbled the second one, and now we'll see what happens on the third possession. 8:12 left to play in the second quarter.
That initial hit from the Chargers was Jonathan McGrath, tie our young man up.
Altavista will operate out of that shotgun formation. One wide out to the left side of the field is Jacob Adams. Looks like a tight end on the right here. Aaron Close set up as a wingback. So is Jonte Gore. They motion Close inside. They hand it to Shaheem Pinnell. Stutter steps through the hole. Pulled down after a 3-yard gain. They give number 57 for Lunenburg, Jackson Parsons, credit for the tackle. Actually, more like a 4-yard gain for Pinnell there on first down.
Very positive. They're saying 3, but you was closer. Well, no, they're giving us the 4 yards. Way to go, Kyle. Good call.
Pinnell has that breakaway speed, and he's rugged enough to run between the tackles, too, and churn out some yards the hard way like he did there. He's set up just off Gilbert's right hip. Christian Gilbert is the quarterback for the Altavista Colonels. Takes a waist-high snap, hands it to Pinnell again. Not a lot of room there. Pinnell sticks the ball out for an extra yard or so. Call that a 2-yard pickup. It's going to bring up a third down for the Altavista Colonels. Colonels are 1 for 1 on third down conversions tonight. It led to a touchdown, Dennis.
Kyle, first possession, where'd we score? Similar type of situation. Third and fourth.
Colonels look to the left sideline. That's the far sideline for Dennis and I up here on top of the press box at Lunenburg. Very hospitable fans here and a good crowd for the Chargers. Good crowd on the other side for the Altavista Colonels that made the 90-minute or maybe 100-minute drive over here east to Lunenburg. Gilbert calling for the snap count. Gets delivered. Gives it to Pinnell. Pinnell, nothing doing this time. He's thrown backwards in the backfield. The penetration was cut into the Altavista offensive line, and the Chargers look like they are going to force Altavista into a punting formation here on fourth down.
Kyle, this is the first time we'll see special teams facet of a punting unit coming out for the Colonels tonight.
Yeah, Lunenburg punted it away on their first drive, but it will be the first punt of the ball game. Officially, it's 4th and 6 for Altavista. Obviously, they have the option of running a play here or faking this punt, but I think they're going to boot it away. Maybe not, though. Gilbert, it looks like just a straight-up offensive set. Maybe a hard count coming? No, they snap it to Adams, who is back a little bit deeper. Good design there, and what ends up being a quick kick for the Colonels. No one back deep to return for Lunenburg. That was very well thought out and well executed by the Colonels on the punt there.
Our defense has proven before, pin them back in there. The Chargers negative yardage, and maybe we'll dial it up, get them a steak, maybe get a couple of penalties for them on their side. Who knows?
Yeah, Chargers are going to operate on this fourth possession of the game from their own 23-yard line. So the Colonels' defense does have some room to work with. They can employ that bend but don't break strategy. 5:58 left to play. Clock is stopped for the change of possession. 5:58 left to play in the English is your complete home center second quarter. The Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show is up next. Adams missed the tackle. Crowder dodged him around the 25-yard line, then thrown down around the 27-yard line.
Christian Gilbert came in. Looked like we were getting some personnel a little late on the call from the sideline, Kyle. So we weren't really set up and ready to stop that, but there was not that much positive yards for the Chargers on that play.
They've been running that play a lot, that toss play, Dennis, to Deontay Crowder. He starts on the right wing, and he seemingly has either room off left tackle or he can take it out wider on that running play, and he's done that successfully a few times tonight. Same formation, two wing backs, a fullback. Same play. They'll toss it to Crowder. He's going left. Good blocking up front. May have our first hold of the ball game. Jonathan Montague will throw down Crowder just a yard inside the near sideline around the 36. The flag came out in the area that you normally suspect a hold, Dennis.
You know, that's what we were saying. If we could get a miscue or a gap from the Chargers deep in their territory, we're waiting for the call here. Looks like it is against the Chargers.
Yep.
Holding call, Kyle.
You saw one of those Altavista linemen get spun around, one of the defensive linemen. That sort of tipped me off, and the officials saw the same thing we did.
Sure did.
This is going to negate a good gain by Crowder, about a 7-yard gain. The flag pops in around the line of scrimmage, so you'd step off 10 yards from there. It looks like a 10-yard loss on your stat sheet, but really it's more like a 17-yard loss.
It is. So, Kyle, we've got 5:11 left in the second quarter. It's going to be second and about, 19? 20?
Not by second and 19. I think a good call there. Colonels with their down linemen set, ready to go. Linebackers are creeping forward. Same formation. They give it to the fullback. This is a new fullback. This is number 4, Giantra Ragsdale. He had a head of steam heading outside. Normally the fullback doesn't try and get outside, but he's built more like a tailback, and he was able to rush outside for about a 10-yard pickup.
Number 12, Jonathan Gord, for our Colonels, was right there for a shoestring, got him fumbled up. He could have been a big head of steam running downfield, but he tripped him up there pretty good.
Yeah, Jonte Gord is a fun player to watch. He's not the biggest guy on the field. He's 5'9", 135, Dennis, but he's a playmaker. Timeout on the field for the Colonels defense. Let's take it with them. 4:43 left to play in the half. Colonels trail 13-6. Other big Lunenburg third down on the way when you return. 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Charnas and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season. Go Colonels.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels defense trying to ready themselves with a timeout for this 3rd and 8 situation for Lunenburg. Dennis, Lunenburg's been very good on third down. They're 4 of 6 on the evening on third down. That was a big reason why they scored the 2 touchdowns. Big reason why they had the 13-6 lead.
Kyle, I think we got it dialed up. I think we're going to stop here and get the ball back.
Colonel's not really showing blitz. There's about 7 linemen down, though. They fake it to the fullback. They toss outside. This is number 8, Tyson Wilkerson. He does stumble across the far sideline. It's enough for, hang on now. They did move that stick back a little bit. I think he is going to be short at second glance. First glance, I thought he had it. They're marking him short, though.
Kyle, they're marking 4th down.
Yep.
He's about 2 yards short, or yard.
Now it's decision time for head coach Will Thomas of the Central-Lunenburg Chargers. By the amount of new personnel I see coming from their sideline, it looks like the Chargers are going to elect to punt. Good stop there by the Colonel's secondary to get to Wilkerson. I mean, just in the nick of time and shove him out of bounds.
Kyle, let's get somebody back to look at the records and see what the tallest punter in high school history is. I think we're looking at him tonight.
Oh, you didn't know when you signed up for this? You're also the research department? You're the one that has to find that information out. No, I think you're right. I mean, The big man is Ethan Hoover, and he is big.
High punt.
Adams called for a fair catch. Then he got away from it, and maybe wisely, too. It'll actually roll forward and take a kernel bounce to the 42-yard line. Good job by the Altavista defense. Gets the offense the ball back with 4:26 left to play in the Englishes, your complete home center. Second quarter, Altavista will take over on their own 42-yard line. It's actually the best field position they've had so far tonight, Dennis.
Since our first possession, you're correct. We got the first Lunenburg touchdown. We got the ball up to about our 45, then lost it in the alley. But we'll see what Coach Sharness and the guys are going to dial up for this last 4-minute drive here.
He is Dennis Jarvis. I'm Kyle Hoehne. Eleanor Hoehne is our fabulous sound engineer. We're so glad you're tuned in on Friday night, August 25th. High school football's back. Here we go. Christian Gilbert, shotgun, left-handed thrower. We're swinging out to Jacob Adams. Adams has a nice block and some room. Ooh, he blew by one defender. He's streaking down the far sideline. No one will touch Jacob Adams. His second touchdown of the night. Gilbert connects on a short swing pass, and the Colonels all of a sudden score with the response. Oh, man, the play took, 10 seconds? Dennis, maybe
Kyle.
not even that.
Once again, restrictor plate racing. He was off. He was out. You just like a good precision pit stop there, and we came back, and we caught him once again. They thought we were going to throw it downfield, threw it over in the slot, and he's gone.
Good blocking on the outside by the other receivers. Adams kind of threw a little stutter step move in there, and then he was gone. Colonels will go for two. Officially, it looks like a one-play, 58-yard scoring drive. Gilbert's under center again. He's got Pinnell to his right. They'll put Adams in motion. Oh, it's a bad snap. Gilbert's going to just trace it down and fall on it. So the two out. The Lunenburg Chargers went with the hard count. Now a timeout. We'll see if they go for it when we return. 2:10 left to play in the first half. 13-12. Colonels trail by 1 on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
4th and inch is coming up for the Chargers, and it looks like they're going to elect to punt. The big man, Ethan Hoover, is back about 15 yards deep. They snap it to him. Oh, this snap is high. Trouble here for the Chargers. Colonels are running him down. Aaron close at the 5 and throws him backwards. Colonels are going to take over on downs because of the botched snap on the punt formation. Altavista was all over it. Dennis, this could be huge with just over 2 minutes left to play in the half.
Our coaches beside us and the staff were saying NASCAR wanted to speed the ball up, but you had a mistake. And now Aaron, once again, too close, got on top of that big 7-foot punt.
Too close for comfort, right?
Yes, sir.
Colonels will take over. It looks like the ball is resting at the 6-yard line of Lunenburg. 1st and goal here. The field position can't get much better for an offense. We'll see what play calling they elect to run with. 2:03 left to play in the Englishes, your complete home center, second quarter. It's Pinnell set up beside the quarterback, Gilbert. They hand it off to Shaheem Pinnell. No, Gilbert kept it himself. Good ball fake. Thrown forward. The Lunenburg's defense was in the backfield quickly. Might have gotten back. They actually give him a yard. So Gilbert really doing a nice job making something out of nothing.
Kyle, looks like they could have had a face mask call on that. It was a little questionable from up here.
The hand was up high. It's hard to tell from where we're at, and certainly still hard for an official to tell, even when you're right on top of it sometimes. They put Jacob Adams in motion. They hand it off to him. Jet sweep to the right. Adams is in untouched. It's his 3rd touchdown of the night. This time it's off his feet on the handoff. Good lead block from Shaheem Pinnell. Colonels score again. Clock stops with 90 seconds left to play in the first half. Looks like they may go for 2 again. Great stuff there. Colonels take advantage of the mistake by the Lunenburg special teams. Jacob Adams with his 3rd touchdown of the night, this time a 5-yard rush TD.
Looks like we're going for 2 again, Kyle.
Watch for the same play, maybe. Adams is set up to the left. See if they put him in motion. Gilbert barking at the snap count. They do. It is the same play. Adams has to dodge a tackle, and he can't. He got cut down around the 4-yard line. 2-point conversion, no good, but the Colonels have snatched the lead back. 18-13. Altavista on top. Charger football with 90 seconds left to play in the second quarter. When we come back, it's high school football on 105.5 KD Country.
Businesses today are often focused on keeping their costs down, and we can help. I'm Daniel Wheeler with First National Bank, and we have a long history of offering cost-efficient business accounts. Today, we have a wide range of low-cost accounts for any size business. So just ask us about our business economy checking, small business interest checking, or other smart accounts. For progressive business banking, First National Bank will help you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
The Altavista Colonels offense takes advantage of a short field after the bad snap by the Lunenburg Chargers on the punt. Jacob Adams caps off a 2-play, 6-yard drive. Third touchdown of the night, Dennis. Jacob Adams, we talked about the speed. You talked about the restrictor plate racing down there on the far straightaway. This time, what'd you call it, short track
I
racing?
called it a little short track racing there. We had reminiscent of the old bull ring at Richmond or Martinsville because he just turned. He knew how to get it in a straight stretch and get the checkered flag.
It was a tight turn there. He took the handoff in motion. The lead blocking was great from the right side of the offensive line. Then Pinnell led him through the hole.
And, you know, like we were talking to, the first mistake made by anybody other than our fumble was the inerrant snap over the punter's head. So their mistake cost them a touchdown.
Yeah, when really, and you go back to the Colonel's fumble, it sort of cost Altavista the touchdown too. So you're right. I mean, both teams making a miscue and both teams seemingly taking advantage. We'll see if that theme continues the rest of the ball game. Here's a line drive boot off the right toe from Shaheem Pinnell. Fielded on one hop on the 15-yard line by Crowder. Started up the middle, now got outside. Cuts back. Nice little stutter step at the 42. Then hit hard by Christian Gilbert. And also Jaqueline Jones came in there to help clean up about 2 yards inside the near boundary.
Kyle, there shows you finesse, good skills coaching staff that we have at Altavista, running the lanes, didn't let the blockers out from the Chargers get ahead of them, closed the gap, and stopped what could have been a really, really heartbreaker coming back off that touchdown.
Crowder's got that kind of heartbreaking speed where he can make things really bad for a defense, or in this case, a special teams coverage unit, but Altavista was able to collapse. Handoff, they go inside to the fullback. Not much doing there again. It's Jonathan Montague, number 3 on the stop, along with number 21, Tyler Gord. Clock turns with 1:12 left to play in the second quarter. Aaron Close helped plug up the hole as well. It ends up being officially a 1-yard gain.
Just like you said earlier, Johnny on the spot.
I think we're going to be saying that a lot this season.
I think so.
But if tonight is any indication, I mean, Montague, he's sideline to sideline type of tackler from that middle linebacker spot, coming in with reckless abandon a lot of times, too.
Oh,
here's a toss play. It did look like there might have been some movement up front.
Kyle, that's what I was saying. It looked like the right side of the Charger line was offsides, but got a rolling clock now, 42 seconds.
He got a yard, so the Colonels might decline it anyway. There was Tyzon Wilkerson on the toss play. Daniel Triplett in on the stop, along with Jonte Gord. Down to 30 seconds. Not exactly a 2-minute hurry-up type of offense for the Chargers right now. Maybe they're content to just grind it out and go to halftime and take a breather and make some adjustments. They unhuddle here with 3rd and 7. Down to 17 seconds left. Man in motion is Crowder. Crowder wants to go left. He's got a host of blockers out there. Montague turned him back inside, but Tyler Gord could not get to him in time. It is a first down. Clock stops for a moment anyway with 8.9 seconds left to play. See if Lunenburg uses a timeout or not. Will Thomas, the head coach, looked at the official and said, yeah, let's take the timeout. We'll take the timeout, too. Maybe the last play of the half coming up. Altavista on top, 18-13, but the Chargers will have 1st and 10 when you return with 8 seconds left in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Service you can trust and prices that work for your family. During the moments in life that matter, you'll be able to feel the difference made by family ownership. Finch & Finch, families serving families since 1905.
Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
8.9 seconds left in the half officially. It's 18-13, an Altavista 5-point advantage. Chargers, if they got out of bounds or used another timeout, Dennis, they could have 2 more plays left. But I have a feeling that this might be the last play of the half.
I think you're right, but they got a
Colonel's moved. This is going to be a penalty.
That's the first Colonel penalty of the game, Kyle. No flag yet.
Unless it's on the Chargers. They're actually saying no penalty. Maybe
flag.
the officials didn't put the ball in play yet after the timeout.
The clock hadn't started either.
Right. Well, it's after a timeout, so it's not going to start till it comes in. They fake the handoff. Dalton wants to throw. Got a lot of room to throw, and they run a screen play. It's caught on the 50-yard line by number 5, Ben Spencer. Spencer's got some room. Clock down to 1 second, 0.7 seconds left. He does pick up a first down, so the Chargers might be able to spike the ball. They're out of timeouts, Dennis, but maybe a spike and run half a second off, then run another play, perhaps. We'll see. It doesn't look like they're really in any rush to get up to the line of scrimmage, though. I think that's going to end the half.
I was going to say,
there it is. Clock restarts. Lunenburg does not run a play. Good first half for the Altavista Colonels, but we've still got a ball game. 18-13, the Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show is on the way. When you return, keep it tuned. You've got it locked in. You've got it locked in to 105.5 KD Country.
Whatever your truck, car, SUV needs are, Highview Motors GMC has it all, from small to tall. New to pre-owned, offering more than just GMC sales. Highview Motors GMC provides 24-hour towing, full-service body shop, state inspection, transmissions, everything in between. Highview Motors GMC, providing top-quality service since 1961.
Motors GMC.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
El Cazador Mexican Restaurant hopes you're enjoying the summer. Fun times are waiting for you at El Cazador. Cool off in air-conditioned comfort with daily drink and food specials. Mexican and American foods and a children's menu too. Call for takeout or go online to elcazadorva.com. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a proud supporter of community activities, including the Y and high school sports. Altavista's oldest Mexican restaurant, El Cazador, looks forward to serving you. Open 7 days a week.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
The Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show has arrived here from Lunenburg High School. Colonels arrived with an 18-13 lead. They were down for the better part of that half, Dennis, but a third touchdown from Jacob Adams. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. It's not that it hasn't been a team effort. It's just that Jacob Adams has been the one toting the ball in the end zone, and the Colonels, beneficiary of some good, timely defense, and took advantage of a couple Lunenburg mistakes as well.
Well, you've got speed, you've got the personnel. Our coaching staff knows how to use it, and it's been a total team effort. Team with the least amount of mistakes, mental miscues is leading at the half. We had our 1 fumble and no penalties. So we're playing fairly finesse, solid, all 3 phases of football tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, I say Adams has been the speedster getting into the end zone, as we've talked about. How about Jonathan Montague on the defensive end? Numerous tackles. He's really been playing his butt off. Rest of the defense has helped him out, too.
Sure
Talk
has.
about some big stops from
Close.
Aaron Close.
Yes.
He's been in there. Jonte Gord, Shaheem Pennell, Daniel Triplett, all those names we've called a bunch. Dakota Ashby, Tyler Gord. Colonels really are playing pretty good right now against a team I hope we haven't been underselling the Chargers. They're a good football team.
No, they are. Fundamentally sound, running a very methodical offense. And, as you said earlier, senior-laden team, and they've got some motivation in seeing that our guys, the Colonels, knocked them out of the playoffs last year, and they're starting the season, the end of the season with us, starting the season with us again tonight.
Two good football teams on display tonight. How about a good halftime show? The Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show, Dennis. $6.99 lunch buffet. It's all you can eat: pizza, pasta, salad, and dessert. And who knows better about that lunch buffet than you and I?
Oh,
how many times have we bumped into each other in there?
Several. Our Altavista Rotary Club meets there every Tuesday.
Yep.
And they've been gracious to us. You've got doobie bread. You've got great pizza on the buffet. And they have one of the best grilled salmon salads in Central Virginia.
It is authentic Italian and Mediterranean food, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Thank you to the Tuscan Italian Grill. We'll be talking about them more on this halftime show. We'll get you some scores right around the corner, too, and recap all the scoring and everything that has happened in the first half here. So glad you're hanging out with us on a perfect Friday night weather-wise. It does not get much better than this. Colonels, they're looking pretty solid as well. 18-13. They lead the Chargers from Lunenburg. Halftime show back for more right around the corner on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
The game is brought to you by these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
Radio Shack and Crystal Bay Pools, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more.
El Cerrito. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
McDonald's of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels. Stop by or drive through before or after the game.
The Dairy Freeze with hot dogs, burgers, fries, and of course ice cream. They're doing it right at the Freeze on Main Street, Altavista.
Old Dominion Insurance. See Kim and Gil, your Erie insurance agents on Main Street, Gretna, next to Tyler Flower Shop.
Thanks for sponsoring tonight's broadcast on 105.5 KD Country.
To become a Moose is an awesome feeling. You just can't belong to a better organization.
I was born and raised in a Moose, and I'll be a Moose the rest of my life. My son is a Moose. We're three-generation Moose loggers. That's how it is with us. I hope everybody else that can join and become a member, you need to do it. You need to see what it does for us.
Why I belong to the Moose. For friendship, for the children, and most of all for the seniors.
What are you waiting for? Stop by the Moose Family Center in Altavista to learn more about how you can be a Moose.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
The Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show returns from Victoria, Virginia. Central-Lunenburg High School. The Altavista Colonels lead 18-13. Dennis, some scores for you from some other games. Stanton River leading Jefferson Forest 34-15. EC Glass was up 7-0 against Charlottesville. Chatham has taken a lead on James River 22-18. Liberty is on top of Franklin County at the moment 20-14. Amherst beating Salem right now 24-13. Dan Rivers got a 3-0 lead over Magna Vista, and the two-time defending state champion Appomattox Raiders rolling against Buckingham 42-14. We'll try and keep our eyes on a few other games and keep you updated. This game and this one tonight, Dennis, we mentioned the mistakes from each team and really the opponents capitalized. Colonels, I don't think you can question their speed and their ability to get up and down the football field, offense or defense. No. I mean, the defense flying around sideline to sideline.
As we said, you got three phases of the game. We're playing solid defense. They're paying attention to the signals and the staff on the sideline. And, we're listening to the coaching staff up here on top with us. They were saying, NASCAR. They know they have speed. And as the season moves on, I think some other teams are going to find out, too. Speed kills.
Speed can really do a lot of damage in this game. You need to beef up front to open some holes for sure, but it's definitely a speed game. Colonels with the 5-point advantage. Let's you and I pretend we're coaches for a moment. Maybe adjustments possibly that you can see Altavista making? It's hard to really say. I mean, they've got a 5-point lead. They haven't been perfect, obviously. You take away the fumble, though, this could be, maybe a 10, 15, 14-point lead anyway.
Kyle, I'd be watching on the third down. I'd be watching for that trap where we're seeing that second back through where we're not paying attention to that. And once again, let's make sure we don't get caught looking. Let's not make it. Let's keep no fundamental mistakes. Keep your head in the game. Don't get off sides. Don't make any personal fouls. Keep playing mistake-free football, and we might see a good coast downhill and take the brakes off if we have to about the fourth quarter.
Well, we're probably a little bit biased to the Colonels a little bit, but I think we can certainly agree that they have looked like a better team. Now, that doesn't mean that the Chargers won't be dangerous in the second half, and they're certainly going to make some adjustments. They've got some backs that are capable of breaking long runs, scoring quickly, so do not go changing the dial because this could become a very close ball game. I mean, it's a 5-point game as it is. It's already a close ball game.
But let's hope that the Chargers aren't like a Tesla and they didn't get to recharge at the halftime, Kyle. And we've got a really great student-athlete group out here on the halftime field with us right now. And the Charger band, they remind me of an old North Carolina A&T or Florida A&M Rattler style. They're marching. They're sassy. They're playing some old-school music.
Yeah.
One heck of a dance team out in front of them, too.
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere here tonight for football. I mean, the weather, as I said, couldn't be any better. This performance at halftime by the Charger band, wonderful. I remember Oscar and I talked about how good this band was last year. One of the best we see. Can't wait to see the Altavista Colonel band when we get back home. That'll be fun.
And the band director is my neighbor, and just a great young man who has a great leadership qualities about him. And our band is an award-winning program. Yeah. I mean, we've got our Altavista Robotic Eagles are getting ready to get into some competitions. They're a 2-time international qualifier. Our Altavista Combined School is ranked as one of the top 100 high schools by U.S. News and World Report. Shows in the classroom, shows in the athletic field. And we've always got Colonel pride in Altavista.
Plenty of talent in that school for sure, not just on the football field here, although we're getting to see that on display tonight, and we are rather enjoying it. Hope you are too. Another time out here on Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show. We're back with football before you know it. Colonels lead at the moment, 18-13 over Lunenburg. Hope you're enjoying this ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
This is Greg Walker with Feller Chevrolet. Our new 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty has many customers buying from us instead of the competition. Covers any vehicle purchased up to 10 years old with less than 150,000 miles, new or used. With our 3-day money-back guarantee, you can buy with confidence. Where else can you get great prices, good selection, 3-day money-back guarantee, and a warranty that gives you 10 years of protection? Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
At English's Hardware Supply, look for the National Hardware Center. There you'll find a wide array of hardware items for your home, like storm and screen door latches and closers. National also has replacement strike plates for your storm and screen doors. For backyard security, the National Hardware Center has gate hasps, latch, and padlocks. And there's much more from National and Stanley.
English's is your complete home center.
Look for National at English's Building Supply in Altavista.
Napa know-how. The Napa Legend battery does legendary things, like starting your car when the heat index hits $1.25. And now, when you buy a Napa Legend battery, you'll get a prepaid Visa card by mail worth $15. $15 back and a new battery? That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 8/31/17.
Napa Auto Parts, Main Street, Altavista, across from Feller Chevrolet.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonel fans, hope you've made your plans to join us next week. The Altavista Colonels will be at home taking on the Prince Edward Eagles. It's a good schedule for the Colonels this year, Dennis. 6 home games and just 4 away games. Typically, it's 5 of each, 5 of the other. But the Colonels have, I guess, through the shrewd scheduling of athletic director Dean Hubbard, come away with 6 home games and excited to open up the season at home next week You'll be gone, but you can give us a listen on kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app.
Oh, we will be. A friend of mine listening out in Boone, North Carolina, Chase Parks and Chase Cross, we're going to go between the hedges and watch our Appalachian State Mountaineers play the Georgia Bulldogs. And from time to time, I'll get some college quips. I'm a big college football fan. But, tonight, what more juggernaut, single-A, Virginia high school finest football can you be watching when our Colonels are up 5 at half?
Yeah, when you talk about 1A football, this is definitely a marquee kind of a matchup between two teams that have been very good in recent years.
Tell us about the history
Yeah.
about.
You want the history report, don't you? Well, since 2010, Colonel's one of the best in the state. You know that. They're 69-23 since 2010. Made the playoffs every year. Lunenburg, not bad, not far behind either. 62-25 for the Chargers this decade. And when you go back even further, Lunenburg, one of the best, most storied traditions in high school football. State champs, you ready for this, Dennis? State champs in 80, 86, 87, and 92. Wow. And they made it to the state championship game. Get ready for all these. 84, 85, 88, 89, 90, and 93. They were runner-up 3 years in a row.
Wow. It sounds like the New England Patriots or the old school Steelers from the Steel Curtain of the 70s and early 80s.
Lunenburg has always had a great football tradition.
Kyle,
these teams creating a new tradition, I would say, with all their battles on the gridiron.
Well, both teams are getting out a little late for the third quarter warm-ups. I wonder what kind of talk both coaches the staffs were making at the halftime, Kyle.
Yeah, I think you and I, we touched on it a little bit earlier in the Tuscan Italian Grill halftime show. I think for the Colonels, it's probably, hey, just do what we're doing, clean it up, do it a little bit better, clean up the blocking assignments, make sure we hold on to the football, obviously. That one fumble ended up burning the Colonels. And defensively, I don't think you're going to see too many game plan changes from Altavista. For the Chargers, you could debate things there. I mean, they're getting positive yards, Dennis. They're able to move the football. They haven't had many big chunks of yardage, no big-time running plays. The one big-time passing play that set up a touchdown. But, for Lunenburg, I think obviously you're not going to just completely change the game plan. We might see another one of those trick plays or maybe open up the playbook a little bit here in the second half. But,
well, Kyle, it's very early in the season. You don't want to give away too much of a game film for your other opponents to watch. But, let's talk about a senior-laden Charger team that's got they're beefy, they're bulky, they're playing a control kind of offense. And, that clock, if we had kept stats on time possession, definitely we're going to see the Chargers had the time of possession really won over us. But we didn't. They made one more mistake that we did with a flag and that inerrant snap on the punt through the sequoia of a big 7-foot punter. So we got another 2 minutes, 24 seconds. We're watching the teams get warmed up here, but our guys are back up on the coaching staff's back up here with us, and they seemed relaxed.
Yeah,
it must have been a good halftime.
I think so. I think it was probably a nice, refreshing halftime. A lot of positive thoughts. You mentioned the time of possession. Yeah, the Colonels, remember, first scoring drive was a 3-play drive. Second scoring drive was a 1-play drive, and then the third scoring drive was a 2-play drive down there near the goal line. So, yeah, the Colonels' offense, and think back to the drive with the fumble, that was on the first or second play of the drive. Colonels really haven't run that many plays on offense.
No, we haven't. And let's go back to that. You just had the key personnel from the Chargers in the alley and got quarterback's face, and he wasn't able to make the pitch. But we've adjusted throughout the game when we struck fast.
Yeah.
And they even bring out the cannon here when they score a touchdown or do something big, the Chargers, and they haven't. Let's hope that cannon doesn't go off too many times and they can misfire inerrantly tonight.
Yeah, Chargers have scored twice, so the cannon still has some ammunition left over there for sure.
That doesn't look like the mighty Missouri for you all at home or the Iowa. It's more like one of those made in China little Army Green Men tanks arsenal over there. But we've got some big guns. They've got some big guns. And this is going to be one heck of a second half.
I hope so. Chargers have broken their halftime huddle. They're ready to go. Colonels are still huddled up on the far right sideline. Altavista will be receiving. They won the toss and elected to kick. The sun has set. The lights are in full blaze here at Lunenburg High School. Hope you're having a good Friday night, whether you're riding around, maybe you're at another ball game, popping in, listening to us, maybe you're just sitting in the comfort of your own living room. We're so glad to have you on board, and let us know you're listening. If you want one of those shout-outs, we'll get to some of those in the second half, I'm sure.
Real quick shout-out to my wife, Lori Jarvis, and to my mother, Diane, and my nephew back home in Lashmead, West Virginia.
You said Mom had a Jarvis in each ear tonight, right?
Sure does.
Brother in the left ear and you in the right or something like that?
Yes, sir.
It's old times for her. She's like when your kids were growing up. She might be bringing back bad memories, Dennis.
We're always number one, both of us number one in her heart. We better be.
1A and 1B, right?
Yes, sir. I'm the oldest.
Halftime show is done. Again, thank you to the Tuscan Italian Grill. You'll be hearing a lot about them this season. The big man, Ethan Hoover, has the ball, and he's going to put it on the tee for the Chargers. Colonels have Jacob Adams and Shaheem Fennell back to receive. Altavista, again, leading 18-13. Colonels are in the road. White jerseys, black and orange trim. White pants with black and orange down the side. Chargers have the LSU look. Purple jerseys, white helmet, white pants with some gold trim in there. Here's the boot, somewhat short. Jonathan Montague will field you on the 20-yard line. Going straight up the gut, ball in the right hand, full head of steam, striding across the 35. Chopped down there around the 36 or 37-yard line. Good starting field position for the Colonels to get the second half up, leading by 5.
You know, Kyle, with Hoehne, this is our fourth possession. We're at midfield again. So an excellent starting position for our Colonels to start this third quarter.
Your field position overall at Altavista, as we mentioned, offense really hasn't had a chance to show what it's made of, but they have scored and scored quickly. 3 touchdowns from Jacob Adams, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. That means Christian Gilbert, the quarterback, has thrown 2 touchdowns. 2 for 2 passing. Those are the only 2 throws he's attempted. They went with the hard snap count, and a lineman from Lunenburg jumped offside, so this will be an easy and quick way to get 5 yards to start the second half for Altavista. We'll call it 1st and 5 after the penalty.
Kyle, that's only the second penalty called in the game.
Yeah. Both teams have been clean there. I think the officials have done a great job. It's not like each team has just been bullying each other around out there and the refs don't want to throw the flag. They've been calling a pretty good game, I think.
Both teams excellently coached, keeping their players' mind in the right place.
The head coach for Altavista is Mike Sharness, his 11th year at Altavista. Will Thomas is in, I believe, his 6th year at Lunenburg. Here's Jonathan Montague off right tackle, plows over the final man that brings him down around the 45-yard line. Colonels are across midfield on the 11-yard pickup from Jonathan Montague. His first carry of the ball game. We've called his name plenty on defense, but the first time they've given Johnny the football, and he makes 10 yards out.
So on defense, we're going to call him Johnny on the spot, and then we're going to call him Speed Rusher when he touches the ball.
Man, I was thinking Freight Train Montague, maybe.
Freight Train's good.
Johnny really likes to deliver a blow on that last shot.
Play a little Johnny Cash next time he carries the ball.
There you go. Man in motion is Aaron Close. They give it to Montague again. He's going right up the middle. Spin move across the 40. Falls forward to the 37-yard line. This time a 7.5 or 8-yard gain for Mr. Montague, the senior for the Altavista Colonels.
I think he had a good call. It's just like a freight train coming by the Altavista train station. A lot of wind coming off of that.
And remember, Johnny, 930 yards on the ground last year, 13 touchdowns. Colonels really bring back the 4 primary ball carriers, Montague, Fennell, Adams, and Gilbert. A lot of weapons on this offense. They're set to go on 2nd and 4. Man in motion again. Colonels might have had 2 guys in motion. No flag comes out. Gilbert keeps it himself. Now a flag comes out late. Gilbert's still on his feet. Turned into a rugby scrum there for a moment as Christian Gilbert is thrown backwards to the Bermuda grass on the 32-yard line.
Kyle, the officials are huddling up. It's going to be interesting to see what the call's for. Looks like holding on the Colonels.
Illegal shift.
Illegal shift.
So it was the 2 men in motion, essentially. They just called it late. Maybe the flag couldn't get freed from the official's pocket there.
Kyle, what a wonderful way we've had some adjustments at halftime. We're seeing Montague didn't touch the ball at all in the first half. Now on the first 3 plays, right up the middle, and once again.
Yeah, and typically an offensive coach, Dennis, will script out the first 10 or 15 or 20 plays for his offense. Coach Sharness might not have even been through his script yet because the Colonels just scored so quickly. You don't really even get a chance to assess a lot of your offense. You didn't get to run some of your plays.
We're showing momentum, time management on our side right now.
They make it 2nd and 9 after the penalty. 3 receivers to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Gilbert will roll that way. Left-hander wants to pass. Now he tucks it down. Look downfield for a moment. Turns the corner. He's across the 40. Hit hard around the shoulder pad and the helmet at the 36-yard line. Clock will continue to move. They say his momentum was stopped before he got out of bounds.
He dropped his shoulder, picked up an extra 2 or 3 yards on the run. Looked like a little talk from the Charger secondary there. They don't like him getting downfield and in the grill.
Brings up 3rd and 1 after a nice quarterback scramble there by Christian Gilbert on what was a design passing play. 18-13. Colonels lead by 5. 9 minutes and 50 seconds remain in the Englishes, your complete home center. Third quarter. Time flies. We're in the third quarter already. One tight end to the right. They'll fake it to Pennell. Gilbert will keep it. He has enough for the first down. Not a whole lot more. Called a 2-yard gain. One of the officials' little beanbags came out. I don't know if the football came loose or not, but Altavista controls the ball, and they do have a fresh set of downs after the first down pickup by Christian Gilbert.
Let's give it to our personnel. The snap was a little high. Still pick up the first down, control the ball.
Gilbert climbing the ladder there to retrieve the snap.
Good song reference. Jacob's ladder.
The center tonight is number 52. That's Dakota Ashby. Really, 99% of the snaps have been on target. That was about the only one that was high. Adams in motion. They hand it to him. Wide receiver sweep to the right. Dodges one man. Stiff arm with another. He's to the far sideline. Lowers his shoulder. He's brought down with a tag in the thigh pass at the 25-yard line. Good speedy running from Jacob Adams. He was, again, just one tackler away from busting loose to the end zone.
If Montague's our steam train, then Adams is our Ferrari.
Yeah, oh my goodness. He's got every gear and then some. Traction to handle in the corners as well. Brings up second in a very short one. Call it second in inches. 8:48 left to play in the Englishes, your complete home center, third quarter. It's an 18-15 Altavista lead. Colonels scored 1 touchdown in the first quarter, 2 in the second. They tried 1 extra point that was no good, and they failed on both of the 2-point conversion attempts. Lunenburg scored once in each of the first 2 quarters. Man in motion is close. They hand it to Jonathan Montague. Montague finds a hole, lowers the left shoulder, and delivers some punishment as he goes to the mat. Gets it inside the 20. They spot it on the 19-yard line, just inside the right hash mark. Montague is rolling again. He needs a bit of a breather. It's first down yardage for the Colonels. Chains moving on this first possession of the second half.
Kyle, we've got 8 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third quarter, and we have just dominated the line of scrimmage. It's ball control, and what an adjustment Coach Sharness and the staff made getting Montague with the ball the second half.
Great decision there. He's out for a breather. Pennell is in at running back and set up behind and to the right of quarterback Christian Gilbert. Here's the snap, chest high, hands to Pennell. No, he kept it, and the ball came out. The football just popped right out of Christian Gilbert's hands. No signal just yet. I think the Colonels held on to it. Yep.
That's what extra time in the weight room does for you, Kyle.
Sure does.
Get hit high, hold on to the ball.
There's some talking after the play. Colonels got the ball back. Okay, it brings up 2nd and 11. And now officials timeout. Maybe the officials are going to discuss some of the chatter with the players. Yeah, it looks like he's going to bring the 2 captains together and say, hey, tell your guys to cool it. Maintain the discipline out here. Good officiating, I think, right there. Rather than throw the flag, give guys a chance to calm themselves down and just talk about it.
Very rock solid. Let's see an arbitrator.
2nd and 11. Here comes a passing play. Gilbert wants to throw. He's got Adams on the out route near the right sideline. Adams sneaks his way through a defender. He's across the first down line. He's inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Christian Gilbert hooking up with Jacob Adams again. Call this a 14-yard gain. Altavista set up with a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
What we call Mr. Adams earlier, Ferrari. Let's go for Ferrari GT.
No kidding. Got all the options on that thing.
Sure
Great
does.
delivery by Christian Gilbert. Stood tall in the pocket and threw a strike to the outbreaking Jacob Adams. 2 wing backs. Pennell's in there as a running back behind Gilbert, who is really having a nice drive. Football got popped out of the center's hands. That's going to be a penalty on Lunenburg, I believe. Almost like that nose guard just swiped the ball right away from the center.
only the third penalty of the game thus far, Kyle.
We're on the 5-yard line, so it's going to be one of these half-distance deals. Colonels will have first and goal from the 2.5. 7:04 remaining in the third quarter. 7 minutes and 4 seconds. Altavista leading by 5, looking to extend that lead on the opening drive of the second half. Man in motion. Here comes the shotgun snap to Gilbert. He hands to Pennell. Pennell trying to find a seam in a hole. Dives for the end zone, and he's got it. 6 points for the Altavista Colonels, and Shaheem Pennell has reached pay dirt for the first time this season, extending the Altavista lead. What a drive, Mr. Jarvis. 65 yards. They got the ball to start the half, so they ran off about 7 minutes or so. Pardon me, 5.5 minutes, if you will.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, as you said earlier, you generally got a script for your first 10, 20 plays. We didn't get to show those. We just had a ball-oriented time management offense, and it looks like we're going for a regular extra kick here, Kyle.
Pennell will try the extra point again. Bailey Stinnett is on to hold. Shaheem Pennell scoring the touchdown. Colonel's 4th of the game. Snap is back. This kick is better. It floats, and it dings the upright on the right and does not sneak in. So it's no good. Colonel's stretching out the lead, though. Just under 7 minutes to play in the third period. Altavista 24, Lunenburg 13. Chargers football back after the timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Thinking of starting a business or expanding your company? Think about choosing Altavista as your location to invest and grow. Altavista offers low utility cost, broadband internet, US 29 access, and an attractive quality of life. You'll score big just like the Colonels when you invest in Altavista. Huddle up with the Altavista Office of Economic Development at Altavista Town Hall.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista comes out of the locker room just like you draw it up. They score 2-yard running touchdown from Shaheem Pennell. It makes the lead 11, 24-13 now, Dennis. Boy, that drive almost perfect. It was a lot of Jonathan Montague running the football. Christian Gilbert ran the ball some and completed a nice pass to Adams. Pennell caps it off with a 2-yard rushing touchdown.
We may be seeing what I'll call the Altavista Transit Authority with the Sting Train, a Ferrari, and a all-full utility player there, too, kind of like a low-rider Harley Davidson.
I love it. I love it. That's why we're paying Dennis Jarvis the big bucks, folks. The Altavista Transit Authority. They'll get you moving. That can be the tagline there, something like that.
I like that. Maybe we can start selling some T-shirts.
Pennell missed the extra point, doinked it off the right upright. Now he's trying to set the ball up on the tee, and he does have it set up.
That's Mr. Perfection.
Colonels have been pretty good on this kickoff coverage. Pennell's kicks haven't been super deep, but they've given the coverage team time to get down there. This one's a mid-range line drive, fielded in stride by Crowder at the 19-yard line. He jogs his way between the hash marks and the numbers. Spin move at the 40. Hit hard by Pennell around the 44-yard line, and that was the coup de grace that brought him down around the 44-yard line. Montague had his ankles wrapped up.
You know, Dante Crowder showed us some skills in the first half there on some carries, Kyle, and then he shows some finesse. Got about 5 or 6 extra yards on the spin move and dropping that shoulder, pick up about 2 more right there on the tackle before they got tackled.
Crowder has been the main ball carrier. He does not have either touchdown for Lunenburg, though. One of those was a quarterback keeper with Jackson Dalton. The other was Tyson Wilkerson, who scored the first Lunenburg touchdown. Toss play. They're going inside. Good defense there by the Colonels to cut down Wilkerson. He did turn it up forward for a solid 6-yard gain. Flag is out on the far sideline.
Kyle, it looks like didn't have full team out. We only had 10, neither tackle. We had some issues with that in the first half, just getting younger guys to understand, keep your hat on, listen when they tell you to come in the game, but not really a big deal.
First penalty on the Altavista Colonels, if you can believe that. Yes. Normally in the first game, it's going to be a little bit sloppy. You're going to have some penalties like that. But so far, up until this point, Colonel's very clean. Penalty declined. It was a 6-yard gain anyway for the Chargers. They'll set up shop exactly on the 50-yard line, right hash mark. Toss play again. They're going Wilkerson, just diving his way through the inside of that defense. A good gain, a really nice surge up front. It's number 21, Tyler Gord on the stop out around the 40-yard line. Big-time pickup there, though, for Wilkerson. The Chargers have their first down of the second half.
Looked like Nathan Weeks with that big cast on his hand was able to lance him up, tie him down there a little bit, and make sure he didn't pick up another 2 or 3.
Fresh set of downs from the near side, right hash mark, 40-yard line now for Lunenburg. Same formation they've been in all night. 2 tight ends, 2 wings. Here's the fullback cutback play going up the middle. Giantra Ragsdale is finally brought down after the little fullback trap there. Pinnell had to bring him down. Ragsdale is on the turf for a moment. We'll keep it here, but Dennis, when you have a secondary man like Pinnell, a cornerback, bringing down the other team's fullback on a dive play, generally that means your linebackers and your defensive line didn't do their jobs if the cornerback and the safety has to bring that fullback down. It's a well-designed play for Lunenburg. They're back to gaining pretty sizable pieces of yardage.
Looks like the Lunenburg player may just have a cramp. It's been physical games thus far, and he's had a lot of action. It looks like he's just stretching these lower quad muscles out.
Yeah, hard to play doctor from up here, but if I had to guess, I'd say possibly you are right. And normally that's an early season thing. You see a lot of cramps, but it's not that hot out.
No, but it has been.
Sure.
And
sometimes
like
the heat doesn't even matter on those, too.
Looks like he's getting up and walking off. Maybe it might be just a stinger and just a momentary thing, but he's walking off on his own. And glad to see that for the young man.
Yep, both teams will break their makeshift huddles that they had on their respective sidelines. We've got 6:09 left to play in this third quarter. It's presented by English's Your Complete Home Center. A wide selection of Carhartt clothing for men and women. Durable, fashionable clothing that lets you live the lifestyle you want. Here's a toss play. Dalton will lead his man through the hole. That was number 8, Tyzon Wilkerson again, one of those sophomores that Dennis has been talking about. The 188-pound running back was able to find his way across the first down marker for a 6-yard pickup. There is a flag on the field in the area of holding. Waiting for the signal now from the official. It's a block in the back, but it's against Central-Lunenburg, so it ends up essentially being the same thing.
I was going to say negate the positive yardage.
Yep.
And, for the first half, it wasn't riddled at all with flags. We've seen 4 here in the third quarter.
The officials huddled up at halftime and made some adjustments too, right? What are we doing? Do we need to throw more flags? No, I think the refs have done an outstanding job. I mean, the game's had a great flow to it.
It has.
And they haven't let anything dirty go on. The one little chit-chat that some players were doing after the whistle, they addressed that pretty quickly, and we haven't seen any more of it. It's great.
Well, I think our folks at DHSL have to expect the best, and it's showing here tonight.
Sure is. 2nd and long now for Lunenburg. 2nd and 11. They toss to Crowder. Crowder's got a student body left blocking scheme over there. He's still on his feet. He ran out of one tackle.
Wow.
Altavista sort of stopped playing momentarily. They thought he was down, but Crowder had other ideas. And he picked up an additional 4 or 5 yards on the second effort.
Kyle, always tell you play till the whistle stops play. And,
sure.
You can see Parnell overlooking. He thought the play was down, and he just got about 3 more yards. Just intensity. He's like the Energizer Bunny out there.
3rd and 2 situation coming up for Lunenburg. They're on the Altavista 33-yard line, driving here on their first possession of the half. 5:09 left to play in the third period. They trail by 11. They toss it to Wilkerson. Wilkerson got hit from behind and pushed forward. Colonels hit him before the yard to gain, but they pushed him forward, and he ends up picking up the first down. Chains move for Central-Lunenburg with 5 minutes left to play in the third. It's a 24-13 Altavista lead.
Kyle, we're seeing the same out of the Chargers that we did in the first and second quarter. Same type of methodical second, third man through with the maybe a quarterback keeper. They're just trying to play mistake-free football here, and we're hoping they don't get in the red zone.
Well, the Colonels have scored 3 touchdowns unanswered, and it certainly looks like Lunenburg would prefer to answer here. You give it to the fullback who favored the right side of the offensive line. Not a ton of yards there. That was Darian Jones on the carry. Jonathan Montague in on the stop again. If that sounds familiar, it's because he made a ton of tackles in the first half. Jaden Martin also in there to help out.
I kind of like your Johnny Spot, but we're going to call him the Sting Train when I'm calling the rest of the season because that's what he is. A lot of sting, hit you hard.
Montague set up in the middle linebacker spot, so he is seemingly everywhere, sideline to sideline, and in the Lunenburg backfield from time to time as well. Man in motion. They hand it to the fullback. This time he's off right tackle with some room to run. Cut down around the 21-yard line. That's Darian Jones again. Flips the ball out for emphasis as he gets up off the ground. He's close to the first down marker over there. They'll need about 1.5 yards here on third down. Clock moving with 3:50 left to play in the English's third quarter. It's a 24-13 Altavista advantage.
And Altavista didn't make any personnel changes, so they like the package they've got going on, Kyle.
Week 1 of the season, we've seen some really big third downs on both sides. They toss. They're going to Wilkerson. Wilkerson hit his own man around the 20, bust forward after a second, then a third effort. He will have enough for a first down. I mean, they needed 1.5 yards, Dennis. They got 2, and it's just enough to keep the chains moving there on third down.
Kind of looks like on the left side of the line for Lunenburg. They're getting off earlier than the ball's being snapped. We need to pay attention to that.
Their timing is certainly very good. Whether there is an early move there by the lineman, that's up for debate. But I'm not going to disagree with you because there have been from time to time when we've said, oh, it looked like they were moving up front. This time the fullback dive will go off the left side there. Running back this time is Darian Jones thrown backwards. Not as much room to run. Shaheem Pennell was over there to track him down. Also number 1, Jacob Adams, and number 15, Jaden Martin.
Pennell was wrapping him up like a Christmas gift getting put under the tree. He was right on top of him and threw him back down and stopped that momentum.
Hope there's nothing breakable in there as he threw that package down.
Well, that running back hoped that he could return it to sender or be able to take it back.
Jones is pretty sturdy. I have a feeling he dishes out just as much punishment as he takes.
It sure does.
2nd and 9 for the Chargers. Far hash mark. They're inside the Colonel's red zone here. Now they turn it up with Tyson Wilkerson. Wilkerson meets some resistance around the 12-yard line, forces his way ahead for maybe another yard. Might be at the 10-yard line after the spot. 2:20 left to play in the third period here. It's brought to you by English's, your complete home center, North Main Street in Altavista. 24-13 is the Colonel advantage. Lunenburg on the move here in their first possession of the second half.
Gord had a good stop there, even acknowledged by the announcer from Lunenburg.
Classy people over here at Lunenburg. We've said that. It's always nice coming down here. A great atmosphere for football. Colonel's had trouble getting the right personnel out there again. They tossed to Deontay Crowder. Crowder diving ahead. He's close to the 3-yard line. He picked up a nice gain there with some good blocking up front. Followed the blockers, found the seams on the left side of the Colonel defensive line. Another first down for the Chargers. That makes it 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
Just called it on the 5, but I think you're closer at the 3.
Yeah, it's inside the 5. Let's call it the 4. Just split the difference there. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line for the Chargers. The big center leads the way. That's also the kicker, Ethan Hoover. He's a people mover in the middle of that offensive line. Dalton's going to keep it himself on the quarterback sneak. Looked like he's in the end zone. He is. Touchdown for the Chargers. Another touchdown for Dalton, this time from 4 yards out.
Here goes that big cannon.
It was 3 unanswered Altavista touchdowns, but you can scratch that off the list. The Chargers have scored and cut into the lead. 24-19 Altavista at the moment. Extra point on the way for Lunenburg, or perhaps they're contemplating a 2-point conversion. It does look like they're going to go for 2, Dennis.
Put them within a field goal. They've got some really skills-oriented people in a kicking game. We're watching pre-game warm-ups.
Yep.
A bit too early for me to make this call with so much fourth quarter left, but I'm not a head coach.
You can make the case that it's a little early, but you can make the case that it's never too early, right? There it
is.
Fake to the fullback. They toss it outside to Crowder. Good blocking on the outside. The 2-point conversion is good. The key man was Jeffrey Goodwin Jr., who really had a nice seal on the outside to get Crowder in the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. Colonel still lead, but it's been cut into. They're on top 24-21. Their football with 1:23 left to play in the third quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season. Go Colonels.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista 24, Central 21. The score, the second of the evening for Jackson Dalton, the quarterback. The junior left-handed throwing quarterback has run 2 touchdowns tonight for the Chargers. Dennis, it was officially a 56-yard scoring drive. Both teams scored on their opening drive of the second half, and boy, with all the running that both ball clubs have been doing, the third quarter just flew by. We've only got 1 minute and 23 seconds remaining in the third period.
I'll say once again, I'll live to be 100. I'll never see a 6'8" place kicker.
Well, people are going to be getting bigger, you know. Everybody's getting bigger, but I think you're right. I don't know. It's going to be a long time before you see another one for sure.
Oh,
Adams fielded on the 20-yard line. His right knee was nearly on the turf, but he kept it off and managed a pretty good return. Got it past the 35 to the 37-yard line. Colonels will operate there on their second drive of the second half from the far hash mark, moving right to left from Dennis and I's perspective in the road white jerseys and white pants.
You know, Kyle, it's been amazing. First game, watching how great on special teams the Colonels are coming out on kickoff returns, because we're getting real positive yardage to start our possession with after a touchdown.
Yeah, Colonels, their kickoff coverage has been good, too. They've limited the opportunities for Lunenburg's return game, and their kickoff returns have been solid as well. They've held on to the football, and that's important, too. Gilbert back there takes the snap, mishandled it for a moment, handed off to Shaheem Pennell. Pennell was hit as he was grabbing the football and dragged down. That's a tackle for a loss by number 64, Garrett Williams, a 268-pounder, and you can see why he's hard to block.
And he's a crowd favorite. You can hear the cowbells, and the crowd's coming back because 56 seconds and you're only down 3 in the first home game.
Yeah, when Lunenburg was down 11, that crowd was a little quiet. They weren't silent, but they were quieter, and now certainly more life, more pep to their step and their vocal cords here right under us. Adams will go in motion. He'll keep it. He's going to go off the left side. He's got some room to run. Turns the corner at the 40. Lowers the shoulder and delivers a shot at the 45-yard line. Jake Adams with a 16-yard pickup. More than enough for a first down. It moves the chains, and the Colonels are into Lunenburg field position. You got an injury over there on the near sideline. That was the man that Adams really just ran through.
Sure did. He dropped that shoulder. Young man seems to be moving. It looks like number 44 for Lunenburg, or 24.
We've got 32.5 seconds left in the third period. Let's take a timeout for the injury. We'll bring it back. We'll have at least one more play in this third quarter, if not two. The Altavista Colonels lead 24-21 over the Chargers from Lunenburg. Hope you're enjoying the Week 1 high school football action. 55 years of high school sports coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Your home is your biggest investment. It must be handled properly. Let the professionals at D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling handle your home issues. Donnie and his trained professional staff are ready at 434-841-1580. They can make sure your home or business HVAC system is ready for the rest of the summer and ready for the upcoming fall and winter. Call D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling at 434-841-1580. That's 841-1580. D.L. Bryant is ready to protect your investment.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
John McGrath, number 24 for the Chargers, gets to his feet. He was shaken up. Adams sort of ran through him on this near sideline as he was making his 16-yard gain. The Colonels have found themselves in Charger field position again. The ball is resting on the 44-yard line. They're working right to left from Dennis and I's perspective here in the waning seconds of the third quarter. 32.5 seconds left in the third, to be exact. It'll be a fresh set of downs for Altavista as they make their way over from that far sideline. Again, Colonel fans have traveled well. A lot of fans here from Lunenburg. It's one of those places where they line up around the field. So the bleachers are about 60% full, and then if you combine all the other fans, it's really a pretty sizable crowd.
Kyle, looks like Adams isn't in. He was pulled up with something with his legs. He's not in on this play.
Yeah, Adams didn't take the worst of it, but you're right, he's not in there. This is Dante Gord with a head shot out of a cannon, and he turned it back across the 30-yard line, hit hard in the left hip and thigh pad, and brought down.
You know, new American car manufacturers Fiat, and I think you just saw a version of that go right up the middle of the field.
Rolled through there for another big gain. You can call that trying to do the math in my head, let's call it a 16-yard pickup.
Getting ready to tell you, good call.
Thanks, man. Math is not my strong suit. I don't know if you remember that from listening or not. Timeout on the field. I believe the Colonels took it. We'll take the timeout. No, pardon me. The third quarter is done. That's expert broadcasting by me, but hey, we will take a timeout. Altavista. Let's see if they can close the deal here. Just a 3-point lead, 24-21 over Lunenburg. Fourth quarter back in a moment on 105.5 KD Country.
Whatever your truck, car, SUV needs are, Highview Motors GMC has it all, from small to tall. New to pre-owned, offering more than just GMC sales. Highview Motors GMC provides 24-hour towing, full-service body shop, state inspection, transmissions, everything in between. Highview Motors GMC, providing top-quality service since 1961.
Motors GMC. Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
The teams will flip sides, and we're ready for the final 12 minutes of regulation. Boy, the first three quarters, Dennis, have been everything we've wanted, and then some. Good, clean football game that Altavista just slightly getting the better of with a 3-point advantage at the moment, 24-21.
You know, we're driving the side of the field that was favorable to us in the first half and gave us, 3 touchdowns there in the first possessions. And I want to give a shout-out to Ethan Coxdale down at Wingate University. He said he's dialed us up on the app on his cell phone. And he's hoping for a big Colonel victory on the road here in the first game of 2017 season.
The entire Coxdale family can get a shout-out from us anytime. Ethan, hope you're doing well down there. Get us tuned in all season. Get all the guys in the dorm listening and all that. We'll talk about them, too.
I was going to say, we got John Coxdale on the sideline with the Hokies as safety manager this year. And Peyton is anchoring our golf team. It had a really good match yesterday over at Hat Creek playing against William Campbell.
Yep, got a victory over Campbell and Gretna yesterday.
Yes.
And we'll sprinkle in some tidbits. Deborah Spencer, the volleyball coach, picking up her 400th win all time. So, again, a lot of talent in the halls at Altavista High School and beyond, of course. Fun watching the other teams, too. This Lunenburg club is pretty good. They give it to Shaheem Pinnell. He dodges the first would-be tackler around the line of scrimmage, sidesteps and darts his way forward sideways for a 5-yard pickup.
And that break seemed to be good, Kyle. We got Adams back out on the field. So one of our speedsters, finesse players, is back in. No issues.
And the way the Colonels really, everybody plays both ways, and they mix and match with different combinations. Everybody's going to need a breather from time to time out there, you would think. Christian Gilbert, seemingly an Iron Man. I can't remember him coming off the field, even on the special teams. He's back there as the quarterback right now. Wants to hand it to Jacob Adams. Adams turns it up inside, cuts back. Now he's going left. Headed to the far pylon. Jacob Adams will score again. He has done it for a fourth time tonight. Jacob Adams from 21 yards out, and the Colonels have just extended the lead again. They're up 9, 30-21, with just over 11 to play here in the ball game.
I mean, he's a nice Italian sports car with a Ferrari. I want to go off Maserati now because that one come right back after coming up gimpy off that huge run and just turned on the jets once again.
It's a 63-yard drive for the Colonels. Adams did have that big 16-yard run earlier in the drive, and now he scores from 21 yards out. Colonels will try the extra point. Snap is good. It's down to the block. Pinnell's kick this time is right down Broadway. The extra point is good. Colonels lead by a full 10, 31-21. 11-17 left to play in the ball game. Charger football right after the timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Service you can trust and prices that work for your family during the moments in life that matter. You'll be able to feel the difference made by family ownership. Finch and Finch, families serving families since 1905.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Your station for high school sports play-by play is 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels start the fourth quarter in style with a 21-yard rushing touchdown from Jacob Adams. He's got 2 on the ground, 2 receiving. Adams is showcasing his good stuff tonight. The Colonels leading by 10, 31-21.
As I said earlier, he's a Maserati, not a Ferrari. It's pure speed.
It was incredible. And the vision, too, to see that hole. He really had to break away from a couple arm tackles. But, gosh, when Adams gets going full speed, an arm tackle is not going to do it. You're going to have to put a body into him, and even that might be enough when he's full speed.
I think our young men are showing once again in the weight room off-season and during the 2-3 weeks that led up to this game, Kyle. They're ready to go.
Shaheem Pinnell converted his first extra point as well. Good job getting the right boot through the upright. 10 points could come in handy. 10's better than 9. Here's a high floating kick that gets landed on the 22-yard line.
Cut back.
Ragsdale is darting his way in and out. He ran into his own man and gets thrown down by Jonathan Montague. The freight train Johnny Montague, always on schedule, and he hit him hard at the 25-yard line.
You know, you called it straight down Broadway. We had a song thing there again. I was confused about what I was going to say, but the A-train. Take the A-train. That's what I was going to say.
Keep it simple in week 1 here.
Okay, well, you know, the A-train hit you.
Don't worry, I made a mistake, too. This ball's actually resting on the 30-yard line, not the 25, but it's still early in the season for these broadcasters. Even though we've got 55 years under our belt, it's always rusty on week 1.
There you go.
Here's the toss to Deontay Crowder. Crowder's got some room. Adams will bring him down around the 38-yard line with just sort of a bear hug tackle right there near the numbers.
That's what I was getting ready to say. He wrapped him up. Good fundamental football. Colonels have been playing all night.
And here's the problem with the ball control offense for Central-Lunenburg, Dennis. The time starts to work against you. When you have one of those quick strike passing offenses, you can score quickly. A team like the Chargers generally has to matriculate their way down the field. Offensive line was barely set there for Central-Lunenburg. No flags out. The football came out, though. And Altavista Colonels signaling they've got it. Colonels football after the fumble. Now
I got a flag call. Might have had some extracurricular there, but Kyle, I agree with you. It looks like that's our ball. He came out in that scrum.
They're still wrestling for underneath on the pile there. That is number 60 for the Altavista Colonels.
But one of the Lunenburg players.
Was it number 52, Dakota Ashby, that came out? Pardon me, it was Daniel Triplett that came away with the football.
Here we come.
Daniel Triplett grabbed the football. The officials are discussing. The flag comes out. Now we're going to get a penalty. Personal foul against Central-Lunenburg is the penalty. Who has the football, though? The answer there is still in doubt. The officials are pointing, but they're not really signaling.
Oh, they're marking it. Are they marking it off?
Marking some yardage off. I think Lunenburg's going to maintain the football here, Dennis.
I think you're right.
Chargers are going to hold on to the football.
But we had a personal foul called on Lunenburg.
Yeah, let's see what the down distance ends up being. It's going to wipe off about a 15-yard gain. The ball popped out of Tyson Wilkerson's hands. It looked like we thought Daniel Triplett had the football for the Colonels. It's 1st and 10 for the Chargers from the 32-yard line. Got all that? Chargers will snap the ball. They're going to toss it to Wilkerson again. Wilkerson's got room. He went right side, then cut it back up the middle. He has to get run down on a touchdown-saving tackle by Jacob Adams. Adams gives him some sportsmanship after the play, saying, good run, man. But it's a first down run for Tyson Wilkerson. And the Chargers moving the chains.
You know, odd that you call. You're not a quick strike offense. Come right back. We miss a couple of tackles, and you pick those two personal fouls. You pick the yardage right back up, plus a lot more.
Great point. 1st and 10. They're on the Altavista side of the field now, 48-yard line. Fake toss by Dalton. Dalton wants to throw. Looking down the sideline. Now picked off by Jacob Adams. Adams gets the interception on the 32. He's going to run all the way across the field from right to left. Now turns it up. High steps across the 50. Adams is still on his feet across the 45. Multiple flags coming out. This return on the interception will probably get knocked back a few yards, but the Colonels have the football after a Jacob Adams interception at the 32-yard line.
Kyle, it looks like you had one right at the spot of the interception. It might be blocking the back on us or maybe even Lunenburg, but it's going to be interesting to watch if these offset what happens.
Mark down that Jacob Adams interception at 10 minutes left to play. That was huge. And, yeah, I think at least some of this return by Adams is coming back. Adams really had designs to take it all the way to the house.
He did. When you've got a V12 under the hood, you go all the way all the time.
When you've already got 4 touchdowns under your belt, why not add the cherry on top?
Right there. But, you know, he showed his speed. He showed he showed the ability to see. He cut all the way back, follow these blockers. And, hold on. Declined.
The official's going to restart his penalty procession there. He called a penalty against the Chargers. I think the penalty is actually against the Altavista Colonels. This foul is the block in the back was at the point of the interception. So they're going to step off 15 yards from there. Altavista's starting field position is going to be on their own 18-yard line. But the good news is they got the football away from the Chargers, who were really showing that they could put together a menacing drive, Dennis.
You know, and they did. And like you said earlier, is this a quick strike offense? Kind of showed it. But we'll bring our transit authority back out here, and I say we're going to go about a 3.5, 5-minute run and put one of our big guys in the end zone and put this one, say, good night, Lucille, out there.
If the Colonels could score on this drive, Dennis, you would think that probably would be the proverbial nail that would finish Lunenburg off. We'll see. I'm sure Central-Lunenburg would love to get a turnover of their own to get the football back in a hurry. Gilbert's got the offense set to go. He puts Adams in motion. He'll give it to Jake Adams. Stutter step around the 20. Now turns it up. He's headed to the far sideline. Spun around the 23-yard line. Adams thrown down there. Maybe even thrown backward to the 21 or 22. Decent pickup on first down, though, for Jake Adams, who certainly the heart rate had to be up a little bit after that interception return. But give it back to him anyway, right? Strike while the iron's hot.
Well, strike while the iron's hot, but what about our conditioning for him to do that and come back and get another 10 yards or so? 5 to 6 yards on that carry.
Oh, I agree.
We're fairly solid.
Altavista looks like they're in great shape. You and I went to the first scrimmage a couple weeks ago, and we said, a couple of these guys look tired. Not tonight. Here's Gilbert keeping the football in the quarterback draw, darting through the middle of the offensive line. 7-yard gain. That's enough for a first down. Gilbert got it to at least the 30-yard line, if not beyond. 9 minutes left to play in this English's Your Complete Home Center fourth quarter. Altavista on top by 10, 31-21.
Gilbert just picked that ball up on the keeper and went straight down the middle of the field, Kyle, and actually didn't get touched till right at the end of the run.
If you joined us late, Altavista scored first and then went behind 13-6. They took the lead midway through the second quarter. They have not relinquished that lead since. Gilbert takes the snap, hands to Jonathan Montague. Montague's got a good hole-off right tackle, then thrown sort of straight down after a 5 or 6 yard gain. Middle of the field, Colonels will snap this next ball from the 37-yard line. They need to get to the 40-yard line for another first down. Points would be great, but as you mentioned, if you can just run off some time, that's probably going to get Altavista the win since they're up 10 at the moment.
Well, you know, the A-train, it doesn't want any stops, not taking any other passengers. He's got a full
It's an
load.
express, yeah. It
Yes, sir.
doesn't like to make a lot of stops.
Not
You're right.
at all.
2nd and 3 coming up. Great stuff here from Central-Lunenburg High School. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. Man in motion. Gilbert hands to Montague. Montague's got room off the left side. Turns it up around the numbers. Now he's scampering down the far sideline across the 50-yard line. A 12-yard gain for Jonathan Montague that time. And the express train rolls into Central-Lunenburg territory with a fresh set of downs to show for it. Colonel still with the 10-point lead. 7:52 left to play in the ball game.
I think he's listening to us down there on the sideline, Kyle, because he once again not accepting any passengers, no more freight. He ran right through the turnstiles and he's out of the gate.
Colonel to snap this one. Far hash mark on the Lunenburg 48. Altavista working left to right in this fourth quarter in the road white jerseys. Gilbert has done a great job at quarterback of marshaling this offense. He hands to Shaheem Pennell. Pennell wrapped up around the legs that time by number 57, Jackson Parsons. Maybe a yard on the gain there on first down for Pennell. Not much else. 7:15 left to play in the ball game. Fourth quarter is presented by English's Your Complete Home Center. It's your home for Ariat boots, Western and work boots, men's and women's, high cut and low cut. Ariat delivers innovation and dedication at prices you can afford. Colonel set to go on offense here on 2nd and 9. Blitz, I'll hand it to Adams. The play was designed to go right. Adams wants to go left. Makes a couple tacklers miss. He's going down the left sideline. One man to beat. He gets shoved out of bounds at the 18-yard line. The referee on the very far sideline threw a flag out. This could be a sideline warning. I think the referee bumped into a coach down there. Jacob Adams with a 27-yard scamper on what was a busted play. The play was designed to go to the right, Dennis. Jacob said, not much there. Let me try the left sideline, and he had plenty over there.
Just like on the interception. He makes opportunities where nothing was supposed to have happened. I think great call this young man our Maserati in our backfield back here.
That was a sideline infraction on Lunenburg, so we called that one. The first one's just a warning. No yardage stepped off on Lunenburg yet. And in motion, Gilbert hands to Pennell. No, he keeps it himself. Gilbert sidesteps him. Christian Gilbert will just walk into the end zone. Chris Gilbert, number 10, has scored. He's already thrown 2 touchdowns, and now Gilbert adds one with the feet. A little nifty move there at the line of scrimmage to dodge the one would-be tackler, and then it was all green grass in front of him on his way to the end zone.
Kyle, they just put the touch.
Christian Gilbert from 20 yards out. That was a 82-yard scoring drive, Dennis, that featured plenty of different ball carriers.
Sure did.
All the weapons on display for Altavista's offense tonight.
Well, you know,
Colonels look like they're going to have to burn a timeout on the extra point. Let's take the timeout with them. Altavista leads 37-21, starting to pull away against Lunenburg. An extra point on the way when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista 37, Central-Lunenburg 21. Just over 6.5 to play in the ball game. Colonels were a little disorganized on the extra point attempt, so Coach Mike Sharness using one of those timeouts to get the extra point unit set and ready to go. Pinnell is 1 for 3 on the extra points tonight. He made the last one, so trending in the right direction, we could say. We'll see what happens here. The touchdown was a 20-yarder from Christian Gilbert. This one is blocked. The oncoming rush was heavy, and Pinnell really no chance to kick it away. Doesn't matter a lot, though, as Altavista has stretched the lead out to 16, 37-21. Lunenburg has 6 minutes and change remaining to try and get back in the ball game. Let's see what they can do after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Getting the special teams right on the extra points, we've had no gas in any facet of 3 phases of the game.
Yep. Colonels will have one final possession here in the ball game. 4:07 left to play. They lead by 6. Pardon me, they lead by 16. Pinnell with not a lot of room to run. He pulls the head down to try and gain some extra yards at the 35. They may give him a yard pickup on that. Now we're at 3:55 remaining in the ball game. Fourth quarter presented by English's, your complete home center. Your home for Carhartt clothing for men and women. 2nd and 9 on the way. Stick around for the post-game show. We'll grab some scores from some other area games. We'll recap this one. We'll tell you what to look forward to next week when the Colonels make their home debut at English Stadium.
Adams with the ball.
Look out. Here comes Jacob Adams again. He turns the corner on the right hash mark, running the alleyway. Couple defenders draped around his shoulders. Adams was close to the first down marker. And, again, more good sportsmanship as a couple Lunenburg defenders reached down to try and pull Adams up. Give him a helping hand. That's nice to see. We had the one little moment where some guys were chatting back and forth, but for the most part, great sportsmanship tonight, great discipline showed on both sides.
You know, Adams is 6 foot, 175 pounds, and he's playing about a shade 205 or 220. Drops that shoulder, picking up 2 and 3 more yards all night, Kyle.
Yeah, he can hit you like a 220-pounder, but he runs like a 170-pounder. Yeah. It's a nice combo for the Colonels.
Sure is.
It's a bad combo for the opponents. Down to 2 minutes and 57 seconds left in the ball game. 37-21. The Colonels lead by 16. They've led since midway through the second quarter. Although Lunenburg trimmed that lead to 3 at one point. Here's Shaheem Pinnell. Got spun around with a hand up near the shoulder pads or the face mask. No flags come out, though, and it'll end up being a 4-yard pickup on first down. We know how dangerous Pinnell is. He scored 1 time tonight. He had 10 touchdowns last year. Adams had 9. Gilbert 6 to go along with Montague's 13. So you bring back the bulk of your scoring from last year, Mr. Jarvis. I mean, that's 38 touchdowns that the Colonels bring back from last season combined.
And they're still here.
They're still here, and they're getting better.
Adams with the ball.
And up to Adams again. Tried to cut back up the middle. Nothing doing this time. He's thrown backwards. Never went down to the ground. He stayed on his feet. But the forward progress was blown up around the 48-yard line. Maybe a loss of 1 yard. Under 2 minutes to play now.
You can sense a little frustration on Lunenburg's side there.
Yeah, they took a chance there to get an open shot at Jacob Adams. He protected himself well, but thrown backwards with no momentum. It brings up 3rd and 6. Colonels get a first down here, and they can definitely kneel down. They do not get a first down. I would think they'd probably punt it away. If nothing else, it'll give you a chance to work on your punting operation. Although the one time the Colonels did punt tonight, it went very smoothly. Gilbert fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He's going nowhere. Good solo tackle in the backfield by number 4, Giantra Ragsdale. It will bring up 4th down. Lunenburg is opting to take a timeout. Let's take the timeout with them. One final timeout, we assume. 1:16 left to play in the ball game. Colonels lead 37-21. Come back to the closing moments here on 105.5 KD Country.
Your home is your biggest investment. It must be handled properly. Let the professionals at DL Bryant Heating and Cooling handle your home issues. Donnie and his trained professional staff are ready at 434-841-1580. They can make sure your home or business HVAC system is ready for the rest of the summer and ready for the upcoming fall and winter. Call DL Bryant Heating and Cooling at 434-841-1580. That's 841-1580. DL Bryant is ready to protect your investment.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Central-Lunenburg can't take the timeouts with them, so they burn one here on an Altavista fourth down. Colonels are going to punt it away with 1:16 left to play in the ball game. This was, again, this formation we saw last time. Adams is about, 7 or 8 yards deep. Gilbert is set up like a normal quarterback, and they snapped it back deep to Jacob Adams. There it is again. He has to leap high a bit to catch it. This kick, not quite as good. Came off the side of his foot and went out of bounds around the 32-yard line. It serves its purpose, though. And the Colonels, again, get to work on their punt team operation, and so far so good tonight with the 2 successful boots.
You know, Adams, with his height, snap was a little high to the left. He was able to pull it down, still get the kickoff. And it was not a bad punt.
No.
For what we needed, very sufficient.
Sure. Timeout on the field for the Altavista Colonels. They might be making some personnel changes. Let's step aside again as well. 1:11 left to play in the ball game. Colonels lead 37-21. You're hearing it all live from 105.5 KD Country.
National Hardware is heavy-duty, durable, and practical. English's Building Supply has a broad selection of National Hardware products. Shelf brackets, hinges, angle brackets, screw eyes, hooks, turnbuckles, whatever your hardware needs. National is the name and English's is the place. For hardware at its best, shop English's Building Supply.
English's is your complete home center.
North Main Street in Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Lunenburg Chargers will have a last chance here with 1:11 left to play. Probably just like to get some positive momentum, maybe a score in. Probably not really thinking about a comeback. Number 1, Deontay Crowder, tight ropes the sideline, then shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him out around the 42-yard line. Jonathan Montague again and again and again on the tackle.
You know, I want to give a shout-out to Jackson Dalton, the quarterback for Lunenburg there. Guys at home, you can't see this. He was out running on the block. He reminded me of old Brett Favre running what quarterbacks should do.
Well, this offense, where the quarterback turns around and flips to the ball carrier and then oftentimes does that, leads him through the hole. It's fun to watch, tough to defend, although the Colonels have done a very nice job tonight. He'll toss this time the other side to Wilkerson, and Dalton gets out there and leads for him again. It's almost like the quarterback in this offense is a fullback, and he just has to deal the cards out right before he goes and blocks.
Thought we had a Colonel down, but he
much
got
to
right
the
up
surprise
there.
of everyone on Earth. Lucy and Brad are making their marriage
He
work.
looked like he had a
The
couple
key?
teammates checking him out.
Laundry.
He was okay.
Because
He's up
they
on
went
his
to
own
Best
power,
Buy,
not even going to
where a
come off
blue
the
shirt
field.
showed them the
Nice
Samsung
call.
Flex Wash with
The-
two separate
the
compartments,
trained
so
eye
darks and
of
lights
the
can be
announcer
washed
here.
at the same time.
Colonel set up on defense.
Good luck.
Lunenburg, same
We're
offense.
rooting
Step
for you,
toss
you
to Crowder. He
crazy
wants to run
kids.
out wide to the left. He
Up to
dodges
40%
inside,
off
now
of-
cuts back out, sidesteps one man, jumps over a lying Jacob Adams who tried to make the tackle from the ground. Then to the 30-yard line. Actually give Adams credit for the tackle. And the Chargers will burn another one of their timeouts. Hey, let's step that aside too. 42.9 seconds remain in the ball game. It's a 37-21 Altavista advantage. We'll wrap up this final 42 seconds, and we're coming with the post-game show when you return on 105.5 KD Country.
Napa know-how. The Napa Legend battery does legendary things, like starting your car when the heat index hits $1.25. And now, when you buy a Napa Legend battery, you'll get a prepaid Visa card by mail worth $15. $15 back and a new battery? That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 8/31/17.
Napa Auto Parts, Main Street, Altavista, across from Feller Chevrolet.
Your home for Colonel Sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista 37, Lunenburg 21. Maybe some more shout-outs in the post-game show. You never know. We appreciate you stopping by and spending part of your Friday night with us. Another toss play here with the quarterback in the way on the block. This is Khalil Wood, the ball carrier. He surges ahead across the 35 to the 33. Pardon me, that's the 23-yard line. First down markers at the 20, Dennis.
Another sophomore. This is a very young Lunenburg team. We'll see them again next year at English Stadium, I hope. And that'll be another good battle, I bet you.
Colonels met Lunenburg twice last year. You never know. Could see a return date against each other in the playoffs. Here's Deontay Crowder. He's making a beeline for the end zone. Altavista trying to keep him out. His own blockers are going to push him in for 6. Touchdown, Lunenburg, with 5.5 seconds left. It's going to just make the score look a little bit different, but it's going to change the outcome. It's now a 10-point lead for Altavista. Let's see. Chargers could go for 2 here. Then you're down 8, an onside kick, and maybe you've got a second left for a Hail Mary. I'm just throwing out the possibility.
Oh, yeah, I like the I like the it's not going to be the miracle in Nashville, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Toss backs and toss rolls. But I think you're right. They're going to go for 2. They keep the personnel out on the field, and quarterback's going under center.
Why not, right? That was a 23-yard scoring run from Deontay Crowder to put a man in motion. That's Wood. Wood will not get to the end zone, so that will end any of the imagination and the possibilities there for Lunenburg. Cannon goes off. The 2-point conversion is no good. The lead stays at 10 for Altavista. We'll take one final timeout before the kickoff. The Colonels will get it back with 4.2 seconds left to play in the ball game. You're hearing it live on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season. Go Colonels.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Well, the Colonels got the ball back with about 4 minutes to play, Dennis. We thought they were just going to run the clock down, but we've seen some excitement since then. Lunenburg scores again, cuts it to a 10-point deficit after the 2-point conversion, no good. This last minute or so has taken a while, but we're finally going to wrap things up here. Altavista, I guess you try and run the kickoff back just to get some good vibes going. I mean, you don't want to stop playing hard.
No, but you
don't want to just take a knee and end the game, I don't think.
Yeah,
you could.
But someone reading the box score in the News and Advance tomorrow morning is not going to get full disclosure on the second half domination by the Altavista Transit Authority, a well-coached team, a well-oiled machine with a lot of steam, a lot of finesse, and a lot of big eyes going into the Prince Edward game next week.
You're right. Looking forward to that Prince Edward game next week. Get in front of a big home crowd and showcase this Altavista Transit Authority, as you call it. I like it.
Maybe I ought to rethink my road trip to Georgia next week.
Well, and if you're Jacob Adams and they kick it deep to you, 5 touchdowns looks better than 4.
Yes.
Tyler Gord calls for the fair catch at the 32-yard line. Colonels would have 2.9 seconds left to run a play if they wanted to. I have a feeling we'll just see the kneel down, though.
Good sport. Yeah. Our team, our coach, our vision, I think we're just going to see a victory formation. Well-deserved.
Right. Oh, very well-deserved.
Well-deserved.
And remember, the Colonels did dominate the second half, but Lunenburg is a good football team. The first half was back and forth. The Chargers led the ball game midway through the second half. So midway through the second quarter, pardon me. And they even cut the Altavista lead to 3 at one point in the third quarter. So this is a very, very good win on week 1 for Altavista. There's the kneel down. Colonels win 37-27. Post-game show on the way when we return here to Lunenburg High School. Colonels move to 1-0 on the young 2017 season. We're back for more in just a minute on 105.5 KD Country.
To become a Moose is an awesome feeling. You just can't belong to a better organization.
I was born and raised in a Moose, and I'll be a Moose the rest of my life. My son is a Moose. We're three-generation Moose loggers. That's how it is with us. I hope everybody else that can join and become a member, you need to do it. You need to see what it does for us.
Why I belong to the Moose. For friendship, for the children, and most of all for the seniors.
What are you waiting for? Stop by the Moose Family Center in Altavista to learn more about how you can be a Moose.
Thinking of starting a business or expanding your company? Think about choosing Altavista as your location to invest and grow. Altavista offers low utility cost, broadband internet, US 29 access, and an attractive quality of life. You'll score big just like the Colonels when you invest in Altavista. Huddle up with the Altavista Office of Economic Development at Altavista Town Hall.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our First Snap mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnatbk.com.
And it's free, so search First Snap mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Post-game show has arrived, and the Colonels 1-0 on the Young 2017 campaign, a 37-27 victory over the Chargers from Central-Lunenburg. I'm Kyle. He is Dennis. We're happy to have you hanging out with us here. Friday night lights is back, Dennis. Gosh, it almost feels like fall out here with this cool breeze.
Oh, it does.
And the Colonels, I don't want to say they're in mid-season form, but gosh, for a week one performance, you can't ask for much more.
And, you know, the talk around the community has been unknown. A very young team.
Right.
You don't have the numbers to have a JV program this year, and you're playing a team that you closed their season out last year, and this is the third time in about 14 games you played them. I couldn't tell there's any rust in our guys.
No, it looked like, I don't want to say mid-season form, because for one, that's cliche, and two, you know, who knows what you're going to look like mid-season. You might look worse, but gosh, it was a pretty good performance tonight from the Colonels in all aspects. Individually, let's start with one guy on offense and one guy on defense. The defender tonight was Jonathan Montague. Now, he had a bunch of help, too. A lot of Colonels played well on defense, but Johnny was all over the field. I mean, he is just covering ground, and when he gets there, he's got the muscle and the force to back it up and make all those tackles,
He does. And he wraps up, he locks solid, and pretty much dead in the tracks when he gets a hold of you.
It's fun to watch. Again, it's not fun if you're an opponent, but it's fun if you're a Colonel fan. On the other side, the Speedster, I think you started out calling him a Ferrari, then it was a Maserati, and gosh, by the end of the year, it might be a spaceship or something. Jacob Adams, 4 touchdowns tonight, and he racked up yards on the ground. I mean, he was rolling, and he had the moves to go with it, and a class act, too. We saw him. He had the play where he knocked the Lunenburg player out of the game with the hard collision over here on the near sideline, and you saw after the handshake line, Jacob made a point to come over and check on the guy and hit him on the helmet, see if he's all right. We saw a lot of great sportsmanship tonight. That makes you feel good, too.
Well, our young men and women represent the Colonels every day in the classroom and on the field. They showed why we're leaders today. True men on the field tonight, not just young men. First class, great men tonight.
Here's a recap of the scoring, and then Dennis and I will collect our thoughts, and we'll talk a little bit about next week as well. Colonels opened up things with a 6-0 lead in the first quarter. Christian Gilbert with a 58-yard passing touchdown to Jacob Adams. That was well designed on third down. The Chargers answered. It was Tyson Wilkerson with a 5-yard running touchdown. Then Jackson Dalton had the quarterback sneak, and for the meantime, or for the moment anyway, Central-Lunenburg held on to a 13-6 lead. But then the Colonels' offensive juggernaut came alive. It was Gilbert to Adams on a 58-yard pass with some great blocking on the outside. Jacob Adams scored a 5-yard rushing touchdown. Shaheem Pinnell opened up the second half with a 2-yard rushing touchdown. The Lunenburg Chargers were able to answer back. Another quarterback sneak sneak, from Jackson Dalton. That made it a 3-point game there in the third quarter, and it looked like maybe things were going to get tight again. Colonels scored 2 more times and really put it way out of reach. Jacob Adams, 21-yard scoring touchdown. Christian Gilbert found the end zone with his feet with a 20-yard scoring touchdown. Lunenburg Chargers closed. Deontay Crowder did score from 21 yards out there in the late stages of the ball game, but at that point, it was academic, and we knew the Colonels were going to come away with the victory.
I think you made a good call. We're coming in a nice week. It doesn't seem to be a lot of key injuries for the team, and we're going to have the comforts of home and the Altavista faithful come out to English Field to bring us a full house next week, and they're going to get to see what we saw tonight. Adams on an interception. I think my play of the game was Adams coming and running back the full length of the field and just had the ability to see and follow his blocks. And it got negated on some personal fouls and a couple of, block below the waist. But then let's go back to that quick strike. We go up 6-0. They come back. We're down 13-6, and we're 3rd and 6,
right.
And we catch them asleep and get right down into the red zone, and then you're right in the end zone.
Yeah,
so,
there was some really key moments. I'm glad you brought up that Jacob Adams interception, too, because that was Lunenburg was driving and really threatening to really get back in the ball game. Adams extinguished that flame there with the interception.
Good call.
A great call by you. One final timeout. We'll bring it back. We'll talk a little bit more about this one. Dennis and I can give our players the game. We'll keep that tradition going, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Eagles from Prince Edward next week. It was a fun night here for us, fun night for the Colonels. Hope you enjoyed it, too. They win by 10, 37-27. You heard all the action live on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
A short drive will save you money.
This is Greg Walker with Feller Chevrolet. Our new 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty has many customers buying from us instead of the competition. Covers any vehicle purchased up to 10 years old with less than 150,000 miles, new or used. With our 3-day money-back guarantee, you can buy with confidence. Where else can you get great prices, good selection, 3-day money-back guarantee, and a warranty that gives you 10 years of protection? Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
The game is brought to you by these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
Radio Shack and Crystal Bay Pool, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more.
El Cerrito. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
McDonald's of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels. Stop by or drive through before or after the game.
The Dairy Freeze with hot dogs, burgers, fries, and of course ice cream. They're doing it right at the Freeze on Main Street, Altavista.
Old Dominion Insurance. See Kim and Gil, your Erie insurance agents on Main Street, Gretna, next to Tyler Flower Shop.
Thanks for sponsoring tonight's broadcast on 105.5 KD Country.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Wrapping things up on the post-game show here. Colonels win 37-27. Week 1 over the Chargers from Central-Lunenburg, team we could see down the road in the playoffs, a 1A opponent. And Altavista with a nice win here tonight, Mr. Jarvis. Big thanks again to our sound engineer, Eleanor Hoehne. Excellent, as always, award-winning multiple times. Couldn't do it without her. And so excited to be getting into our 55th year of consecutive sports broadcasting on KD Country. Not me and you.
Not you and I,
but as a station. Impressive stuff there. I was talking to one of the old broadcasters, Mr. Charles Boley, talking about his days with Ron Campbell and all those guys. It's been a nice tradition. Glad we can keep it going on KD Country.
I'm just pleased that you all reached out to me and let me come on and replace the docile tones of Oscar if he's out there listening. This is a big pair of shoes to fill. I told you earlier, I've always thought this might be easy. It's not real easy. You're trying to keep up with the action, keep up with the momentum, and keep your composure. And I hope that the listeners at home like the transition from Oscar into you allowing me to be a part of our wonderful 4-time recognized Virginia Broadcasting Association Sportscaster Duo of the Year.
Well, I think you did a great job. You're going to get better and better for sure with more practice. And a brief mention about our dear friend Oscar Briggs. We thought he was just going to ride out the sunset and retire and enjoy life on the beach. He's already got another broadcasting gig. He's probably working tonight.
What did you say? It was a Native American game, like
Socastee High School.
Socastee
High School.
Well, he sure isn't Socrates. So.
Well, nice. That's a good play on words there. But he's close. He is close, and I don't know, maybe OB can go back and listen to this on YouTube, but he's doing great things. Never mind. I was going to tell you about his pay that he was getting, but I'm just going to keep that private.
Yeah, we'll keep
don't
that
want to
private.
offend you. I don't want to.
No,
maybe you're not getting as much.
Hey, I don't. You don't have to. Let me tell you, for everyone listening, I would gladly do this for free. Because
I know you will.
I love our town. I love our spirit, and it couldn't have shown more when we were down. We're down 13-6. Players never quit. You see, we've been no hands on the hips, no heads hanging. Played real solid, fundamental football. Few mistakes other than that fumble, but the guy on the pitch, there's very few mistakes except on special teams. And I think going into the second game of the season, you're going to see the coaches get together and talk about kind of that ball not the control from getting your personnel in and out. First game jitters, but definitely a 180 from the team we saw in the rain in English Stadium on that Friday evening when you didn't know a lot.
Yeah, vastly improved in 2 weeks there. Great stuff. Again, it was a 37-27 Altavista victory.
Let's do players of the game.
Dennis, let's do players of the game. That's what I was just going to say. We'll keep that tradition going. Traditionally, I pick first. We should change that, but
you go first.
I'm going to keep it going. Yeah, I'll start on the side for the Chargers. Their player of the game. Well, I mean, you got to like what the quarterback Jackson Dalton did. He scored 2 rushing touchdowns, and he's also one of their most effective blockers out there. I'm going with the quarterback, the junior, Jackson Dalton. Hope we can see him again. He hooked up with Ben Spencer for that nice pass that set up the touchdown, too. He can throw a little bit.
I could be cliche on the Lancer side of the ball and go with 7-foot Ethan Hoover on what I think.
You liked him.
Like him a lot, but I want to go with Dante Crowder, number 1.
Yeah.
All right. Real finesse, real speed, and he's an 11th grader, standing there 5'9", only $148, 148 pounds. He runs with a lot of speed and a lot of heart. So I'm going to give a nod out to Mr. Crowder.
Great call there. On the other side for the Colonels, well, there's 2 big names we mentioned coming into the post-game show here. I'll go with one of them. Jacob Adams, the senior, 6 feet tall, 175 pounds, all the speed you need, all the moves you need. He had an interception on defense to go along with 4, yes, count them, 4 offensive touchdowns. I'm going with number 1, Jacob Adams.
I'm going to go with number 1 in your program out there tonight, and number 1 in my heart for the sportsmanship he showed coming off the field after that game. I can't disagree with you. And, I hope that our athletic director and our principal out there understand how poignant a moment that was for him to come over with a young man being carried off the sideline from the Chargers that had been hurt, and it was good. He was out for the last 6-8 minutes of the fourth quarter.
That's about right.
And Mr. Adams gave him a bump on the helmet and told him, good game.
Yep.
So I think that shows Altavista pride through and through.
Sure does. Good stuff there. As always, our player of the games, our players, pardon me, get that grammar working here. It's only week 1. You can't expect me to have great grammar right now. Our players of the game, the folks that make it possible, our sponsors. How about the Moose Family Center? Stop by the Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road to learn how you can become a Moose. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call Donnie at 841-1580. That's 841-1580. Highview Motors, GMC, from small to tall. Highview has it all. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. Family serving families since 1905. The Altavista Office of Economic Development. We invite you to come find one of a kind. PCM Industrial Services, now with mobile welding and repair service. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and so comfortable in between. English Construction, wishing our athletes a exciting and injury-free game. El Cazador, Altavista's original Mexican restaurant, Napa Auto Parts of Altavista. Find your Napa know-how on Main Street. English's Your Complete Home Center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men and women. They've got so many great selections and styles over there. Dave Hoehne and I were browsing the Carhartt selection earlier this week. Wonderful stuff.
Got Orca coolers, too, by the way.
They do. We'll talk about that. It's not that hot out here, so I didn't really think about coolers, but you're right. Well, they've got stuff that can keep your drink warm, too.
Sure do.
We digress. Also got to thank the First National Bank, easy for me to say, helping you bring home more bacon. Who doesn't want that? And Feller Chevrolet now offering a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Before we get out of Dodge, Colonels are back at home next week. English Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff. We'll come on around 6:30. I'll have a special guest. I don't want to reveal who it is just yet. I want to keep the suspense out there. You'll be on the road, but tuned in. The Eagles from Prince Edward always bring a game and ready squad. I think next week will be no exception. But, man, if the Colonels play like this, I like their chances.
I'm real remiss. I don't get to watch our boys play, but come out of that with a head full of steam. You're 2-0, and I don't want a future cast, but my next game back is going to be going on the road and watching us against a huge Jason Overstreet-led Stanton River Eagles.
The Stanton River team was a runner-up at the 3A state level last year. Almost said 4. It's going to be, you talk about game and ready and hungry. Gosh, they're going to be tough to beat. But, hey, that's why you play the games, right? And we can't look ahead to Prince Edward. You don't want to overlook the Eagles.
Not looking ahead, but, really, if you look at the balance of our schedule, we play Stanton River, we play Appomattox, we play
Rutsburg, Dan River.
Our guys in the trenches are really going to see the weeks ahead, and the listeners out there on the radio and dialing in on the internet, we're going to see get to listen to some really great football.
Right.
Here, Kyle.
Gretna twice this year, too. You playing the old rivalry game twice. That amps it up a notch. Hey, we're going to get out of town, get you back to some more real country music. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back next Friday, 6:30 for the pregame show. It's the Altavista Colonels taking on the Prince Edward Eagles. Tonight, Colonels are a winner. They go to 1-0 on the young 2017 season, a 10-point, 37-27 win over the Chargers. For Dennis Jarvis, for Eleanor Hoehne, for everyone who had a hand in the broadcast, we thank you so much. My name is Kyle. Talk to you again next week. Colonels win, open up with a W for the 2017 season. You heard it all live, 105.5 KD Country.